It's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news if you're considering a reverse mortgage. Rates have improved again this week. Get a same-day quote at thatmortgagguydon.com.
With thatmortgagguydon.com.
Of course, fun in the sun is one of the first things you think about when living in Florida, but there is a price to living in paradise, and it's called the Atlantic hurricane season. No worries, though, because new windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen can help protect your home. Renewal by Andersen's Acclaim impact windows and doors are engineered to withstand high-velocity impacts, meaning these windows and doors provide enhanced protection against flying debris during storms, keeping your home safe and secure. Here's what Dawn has to say. 6 stars. We are so surprised at how beautiful our new picture windows and steel front door turned out to be. Renewal by Andersen's 30th anniversary sale is going on now. Buy one, get one, 30% off windows or patio doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
The NBC Nightly News.
From one era to the next.
I'm Tom Brokaw.
We hope to see you back here.
I'm Lester Holt.
Trust is the anchor.
For NBC Nightly News, I'm Tom Llamas.
A new chapter begins. NBC Nightly News with Tom Llamas. Evenings on NBC.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Orlando without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Orlando for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FLIP to 64,000. Orlando's the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Orlando and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FLIP to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FLIP to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FLIP to 64,000.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Hi, this is Alice Christner. Please join our family on Friday, June 20th for a special fundraising dinner at Christner's Prime Steak and Lobster to celebrate 32 years of legendary dining in Orlando. All of the dining proceeds will be donated to Aspire Health Partners and the Advent Health Diabetes Institute. This meaningful give back event reflects the Christner family's heartfelt appreciation for your support for more than 3 decades. For reservation, visit Christner'sPrimeSteakandLobster.com. Because at Christner's, every day is a special occasion.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce changes your life and your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most most viral stories of the day. The news junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Lots to get to today, for we have some big news. To MMA legend BJ Penn melts down in Hawaii, and how Ukraine drilled Russia with Operation Spiderweb. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane. What's happening? And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right to the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Monday?
Good.
Yeah.
What are we laughing about?
Something in the chat that I can't repeat.
Oh,
what happened?
it.
What happened to come up with?
Can you send the screenshot?
Stupid
already, like 5 seconds in, they're already up to some nefarious stuff over on the chat side.
Something that distracted me. I just saw
Classic Monday.
the messages roll in. You say the messages roll in, and then one of them made me laugh.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
okay.
So mysterious, but I guess we'll have to go to chat to see
It
what
said
you're
touch
talking
my
about.
D in all caps.
All right. Yeah, of course. Of course, that's what it's going to be every time. I don't even know why I would question what it would be. Of course,
You guys are drilling me like I'm the bad guy
I'm
here.
also not questioning that that's not the first or last time that person has said that exact phrase.
Well, it's a bot, so yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on a timer.
It's a bot?
I don't know. I think
It's a bot that says touch my D?
It's
Can we not have predator bots these days?
It's complicated. It's a whole thing. It's a thing.
Heard that before.
All right, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse.
How
Let's
are
see what's
you?
happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. I'm doing okay. And we'll start with something that I hate.
Okay.
Just going to say it.
Awesome.
Just hate it.
That's what we mean.
I've been kind of high on AI. A little high on AI. Just looking at what's happening, wondered how we can save the world from robots, but still play with some of these fun toys. And I saw something that is too far. Too far, don't like it.
The line has been crossed.
Yeah, this is a line for me where I don't like what they're doing with AI.
I mean, I'm looking at the thumbnail. It looks like it's off to a bad start, and I don't know where we're going from here, but is it just getting worse?
Well, they started using the new video maker from Google, and they're like, okay, let's put in hot chick fights dragon. Let's put in crazy guys with huge swords. Let's put in whatever. And they put them one after another. And then once they got to the end of all that fun stuff, then they go, oh, we could use this and do religious influencers. And if we do religious influencers, people will be like, oh, I've got to donate money to fake Jesus.
This is a weird full circle in which, like, if you don't forward this email, Jesus won't bless you and your mom's going to die.
Yeah, now we got like live streams with Jesus and like all these AI characters that they're creating, and I don't like it. I'm not a fan, but let's see what you guys think. Here we go.
Yo, fam, they don't know that G-O-D is about to BRB.
All right.
Stop.
He's going to BRB. He's actually kind of funny.
So Jesus is ripped. Can we restart all of that, please?
He's on the cross, but now we've brought it to modern language, and he goes, yo, they don't know that G-O-D is about to BRB. And you're like, oh.
He's cute.
I don't know. I don't think AI religion is so bad, and we didn't need to update the lingo.
Also, where you are in the screenshot, and those not listening or watching, rather, look to the right of the Roman shoulders and soldiers.
Yeah, right here. These guys.
So we have the soldiers to Jesus's right, if you're looking at him, and then to his left is like full-blown 2025 people.
Yeah.
A lot of people with handbags and influencer-type equipment.
That's true. I don't know why we have soldiers, and then there's definitely people with some sort of like
they are not from those times.
No, like they have jeans on, for instance.
Exactly.
I don't know if Jesus was surrounded by Levi's when he was put on the cross like this, but G-O-D about to BRB, he says, and this to me is just, I don't like it.
Yo, fam, they don't know that G-O-D is about to BRB. These Philistines thought they could flex on me. Big mistake. I just took some pre-workout and finna bring the house down.
No.
What's good, fam? Your boy David here, about to yeet this little stone at Goliath and see what happens.
All right.
This is insane, and I love it.
I hate this.
I love
it's
it.
so bad that it's really tickling me.
Honest to
right now.
God, if any of these religious figures who actually existed were to pop back into 2025, I think they'd be like, shut it down. Shut it all down.
Of course, but to think that they have been teaching us these stories for hundreds of years, and it's just this year that they're making it a little bit more modern.
Yeah, there's more. And the one that it ends on was just like, that's when I
ready.
said, I don't want any more AI today.
Okay, so I told y'all to trust the process, but no, y'all wanted to stay in Egypt stacking bricks.
He's parting the Red Seas, just in case you're wondering. And now
This
we've
is
got
so
some more action.
Yo, it's Shadrach. This random dude just showed up. It's getting lit in here.
I got the horses in the back. Horse tack is
All right.
attached.
Quick
Hat is matte
pause.
black.
If that was Shadrach, then who are the two guys jumping behind Shadrach? This is religious quiz.
Oh,
Go.
man.
Ooh.
Catholic boy stepping up to the plate here.
Shadrach, and
Yo,
then there's
fam.
two more
Patty
people.
Whack?
No,
Is it?
No, what's the name of the story? Because I'm not familiar with the names.
I don't know.
what's the
I
story?
don't know. I remember the
Well,
story.
here's
I
what
just
we
remember
know.
the names.
We got somebody with some curly hair, and he's in front of a statue on fire.
the burning
and Sealand
bush?
says, Shadrach? I don't know. I don't know this one, Sealand.
That would be Meshach and Abednego.
Yeah, that was going to be my
Oh.
first guess for sure.
Well, then you should have guessed it.
All right. Okay. Let's go back to this because I think this is just too far. The AI religion stuff is taking over today.
It's getting lit in here.
I got the horses in the back. Horse tack is attached. Hat
Noah.
is matte black. Got the boots that's black to match.
Day 2 in the tomb.
That was a little Nas X.
Oh,
No
it's
Wi-Fi,
Jesus.
no snacks. Just kind of waiting for God to respawn me.
Come on, dude.
Oh, my
He's like
dear.
Mr. Beast as Jesus in the tomb, and he's like, day 2 in the tomb, no Wi-Fi.
No
Oh,
snacks, dog.
I don't like it. I don't
love
like it. I don't like it at all.
I would really, really, really like to see what some of my old super religious teachers from Pine Castle Christian Academy would have said about this.
I'm about to send this link to my mom because she has a lot of priest friends.
Would it be a thing that religious people saw as like, we're just furthering the stories, we just want to get the message out there? Or would they be like, this is sacrilege? These
It'll
aren't
be
like...
split, just like politics. Like there will be a hard right, a hard left, and someone in the middle, like us, not knowing what to do with it.
I think there would be some more progressive religious types that would argue that this is the language that young kids are speaking, so this might be how we need to get them to learn the story of Jesus and the Word of God.
That's ridiculous.
I think there would be some people that say this. My fourth grade teacher said that even some music that has no words can be satanic.
True.
There are no words. He just said the beats, like the rhythms, could be, against God. So I was like, I don't think that she would approve of
Some other religions, I don't think it would float. Like in the Arab Muslim world, I don't know if this was all Muhammad.
They dropped that South Park that had Muhammad in it.
Okay, but can we also find out what program they use and then see what that reimagining is looking like?
I would like to see all of this and then never see it again. That's like, I want to see it, rip the Band-Aid off, and then never see it again. Because
You know I'm a daddy's boy. He's got me in this Technicolor drip. Brother's
That's
so jelly
Joseph.
right now. They're looking a little sus.
I'm supposed to say that God got me pregnant?
Oh,
yeah,
no.
there's no way my parents are buying this story.
Oh, my God.
This is wild, Sean.
God.
You really came in with a fastball for a Monday morning.
I don't know, man. I'm really supposed to say that God got me pregnant, and it's like,
Also, that's how young Mary's supposed to be?
I mean, if it is,
They were all pretty young.
Maybe they won't like this in the religious world because they're like, damn, that's kind of a good point.
Hey, she's 13.
I don't think, Sean, I don't think this is the first time somebody's brought this up to them.
You don't think so? I think, damn, man,
Sure
that's
about that?
kind of crazy to think about that way. But yeah, that's the Virgin Mary.
I'm supposed to say that God got me pregnant? Yeah, there's no way my parents are buying
Here you
this
go.
story.
Ready?
I would like to formally apologize to God, the sailors, And this whale, sorry, dude,
Job?
I just took a poop over there.
He's let me go back real quick, just to the last piece of Jonah and the whale.
My parents are buying this story.
I would like to formally apologize to God, the sailors, and this whale. Sorry, dude, I just took a poop over there.
Yeah, okay. No, we
This
don't.
is insane.
Bible influencer AI is... It's just
I don't
weird.
know how much influence is going on, Sean.
It's just we have too much technology, too much power.
Take it back.
Zach says,
crazy.
Zach says, God got me pregnant, no cap.
That's basically what they do. They're like, we have to speak to the kids in their new language. And of course, Jesus is got to be ripped, and Jonah's got to be talking about pooping in a whale.
So ripped.
It's just weird, man.
I'm telling you, though, there will be progressive religious types that will say, well, this is how we're going to connect with the children. It happens all the time.
It does, but like all those pastors that got a sleeve of tattoos are like, so this meant nothing?
Like, how many times have you heard from like somebody who's super religious who's trying to be like, hey, you know, Christmas isn't all about Santa Claus. You know, Jesus is the reason for the season. And then I literally went to church one time for like Christmas mass, and Santa walked right down the middle aisle and started praying. And I went, what is going on here?
You said that, or you're excited Santa was there?
No, I was old enough to go, why? What is Santa doing at church?
We're not supposed to ask any questions. We're not. We take in the AI as the latest version of all this stuff and just enjoy it, folks. I don't know how I feel about it, but let us know how you feel. Send us a dispatch. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Should they be making the biblical stories into AI? Will they do this with other religions?
What up, Jesus? Yo, like and subscribe.
What up, fam? You're telling me God impregnated me?
Well, what will be the implications? And to Sabrina's point here, there's only like 5 more seconds ticking on the clock before they go, hey, here's how you donate to old JC, and here's how you can elevate the body. Like, it'll be used into a moneymaker in about 5 seconds. They're like, buy our whole version of the Bible, street version with all the riz one could expect. No, and that's the theme here. The theme is taking old things and ruining them. That is the theme. The theme is taking old things and ruining them, because I saw so much of that this weekend. So much of that. And I remain, and I will remain for the next, I think, 3 to 6 months on edge about a bunch of things that I think might be ruined. And I'm very worried about that. One is the entire internet exploded. All of the peoples exploded. On Saturday morning, I think, when
Instagram, Twitter, y'all see this?
Out of the blue, I'm scrolling and I go, oh, wow. Unbelievable. King of the Hill's new comeback season is coming on Hulu.
I did not know that they were aging them.
They
aged them?
Yes, Bobby is like a grown-ass man now.
Jesus.
And from the trailer, I found this woman who, bless her soul, this woman digested the trailer for this. When Courtney found this, it had, I think, 100 likes, and I said, just bookmark that for me, because I want to listen to this lady. I want to hear her take on the King of the Hill trailer, because she sliced and diced everything that happened in this trailer. And now it's got 75,000 or 74,000 likes. And this lady tells you what's going on. Just all they did was release the opening sequence of the new King of the Hill.
This is not a drill. I am reporting to you live from my lunch break to share that the new King of the Hill opening sequence just dropped, and we have got to break it down because the drama is crazy.
All right.
So the opening sequence starts with everybody being the same age that we left them.
Okay, normal. All the King of the Hill people at the same age you would expect.
Still talking about global warming. She's still the only smart one. Then the seasons start to go by. We now see a young adult Bobby with good Hank on his shoulders and Hank's father's wife, but no Hank's dad. So Cotton must have passed away.
Please, yeah. Cotton, Hank's dad, is as dead can be. Dead as dead can be. That character ain't coming back on this one if Bobby's like a grown man now. And I'll tell you my theory as to what they should do with the Bobby character in King of the Hill for this reboot, but Courtney thought it was dumb. Courtney was like, no, not going to work, because that's the thing that people are scared of. King of the Hill, which is a treasured animation institution. If you've not watched King of the Hill, sometimes a lot of people thought it was like Redneck Simpsons and they would avoid it. But the storytelling in King of the Hill is so good. It's funny. It's hilarious. But the character of Bobby in King of the Hill is one of the greatest characters in all of animated history. It's such a funny character. All of the characters are fantastic. And now bringing this back and aging some of the people is weird. And so people start to wonder what the hell's going on. At some point, they get COVID in the new King of the Hill opening.
Backdated on that.
Well, and you know what I think happened? One of the guys actually died who does the voices for the main King of the Hill cast.
More than one of them. Brittany Murphy did one of the voices.
But she was dead as they were continuing on with the season, because she did Luann's voice.
I think you're talking about Johnny Hardwick that played Dale.
Yeah, and I think they may have killed him off, or the other guy from COVID. I don't know. We're listening to the lady.
I rest his soul. I know he looking up at me like, why she got my name in her mouth. But even with all that change, this is still going on. Nancy and John Redcorn are still having an affair. When out of nowhere, Hank leaves. And not just from the sequence. They literally are packing their bags. A shuttle comes and gets them. And you can tell they're leaving a long time because they're hugging each other. And Bill is crying, mind you.
So it looks like Hank moved out of the neighborhood and moved away. And then the character played by Chris Rock, who I think was like a traffic school guy, and he was in a couple of episodes. He moved into Hank's old house. So they like slice and dice all of this, what's happening here. I get so worried about things like this. Is it going to suck? And here's what I said. Here's my theory. I said, okay, so they take on King of the Hill, this treasured show, and they have Bobby Hill grow up. He's supposed to be in like his early 20s or something, but he's still living at the house with Hank Hill and Peggy Hill. And I said they should have Hank Hill and Peggy Hill in their house. And when Bobby comes in, they're like, oh, look at you, all grown up, and here you are. And then he goes to speak, and his voice is exactly the same.
Yes.
Like his voice never changed. You should be like, well, we were expecting. And so Bobby looks older, but keeps the same exact voice that he had when he was a little kid.
Oh, what are you supposed to do, Sean? Come on.
Some issue. And because I think it might have been one of those many characters where a woman did the voice of a boy.
It's Pamela Adlon.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Bart Simpson?
No, that's Nancy Cartwright.
Can you see if she's doing the voice of Bobby Hill in the reboot?
I would assume she is. I don't even know how I checked that. Let me see.
And maybe they even see, like, maybe they even do like they did on South Park, where they want to take voices and they pitch them one way,
right.
Pitch them down or pitch them up, and then you make it into another character.
It's weird because, like, her voice and her take on Bobby Hill is one of the things that makes that character. I mean, there's just like it's one of the endearing parts about him. But if you're going to make him older, he probably should sound a little older. It would be weird. What are you just going to not explain why he's 26,
cartoon,
but he still sounds?
I know,
still, though.
You don't have to explain it. Meg and Chris have been the same age, same clothes.
Yeah,
time.
Exactly. So they get to have the same voice.
Right. That's the point. The point is, if they were to take Bart or any of these other characters from these cartoons, and then all of a sudden they're 24 or something, it's awkward. And then their voice is different, and you're like, what am I watching here?
But would you rather a voice different so you can like have peace knowing that Bart is older, or Bobby in this case?
No.
Or your familiarity with the show is going to be those voices.
I never want them to age. I want them to stay in this little cocoon,
of course,
and watch everything happen there, because they're animated. They don't have to age. It's the beautiful thing about it.
I mean, consider our show, Sean, where your voice was significantly different than what we know it now, right?
Yeah.
But no one made like a big deal out of it until we heard the early episodes during a best of.
I don't think it sounds that different when you listen to him. Just
Dylan, if you wouldn't mind doing me a solid and finding some early.
He doesn't have that. Then now, you're acting like C-Lane's the archivist over here, and he's. Let me bring it up.
I'm not crazy.
Enhance. some people say that I sounded different in the first 3 or 4 shows. That's the rumor that's going around, and I blame it on some of the equipment. But
I'm a
I don't
vampire.
know.
You were doing that in regular voice.
I'm a vampire.
That's a voice. That's not regular.
That it was absolutely your regular voice.
I'm a vampire.
It was so long ago now.
Oh,
Hey, let's get C-Lane's snap opinion on something here. I want you to search this person's name, C-Lane, and take a look at this photo. Lizzie Velazquez.
Okay, pause.
Sounds the same.
Though we didn't have streaming capabilities at the time, you did not have a clothespin on your nose. So
I think things sound exactly the same all of these years later. I really think
this could be a new character for you.
We're hitting the nail on the
I'm a vampire.
It makes tears come out of my eyes. Anyhow, I think they're going to screw all this stuff up. I'm worried. I'm absolutely worried. And then I see that they're bringing back Dexter, and I'm like, old is new again.
What do you mean, Dexter?
They're bringing back Dexter. They dropped over the weekend Dexter Resurrection. Michael C. Hall, who found out he wasn't getting any other gigs. He didn't want to be Dexter anymore, and he's like, damn, I'm just really good at being Dexter. So
he is.
Let's do more Dexter. And Showtime is bringing it back with Dexter Resurrection. And I'm like, all right, well, this is really good. This is something that Courtney's favorite show probably is Dexter. She's watched it a million times. And I'm like, okay, Uma Thurman's in it. You know, this person's in it, that person's in it. And then I look, the big baddie, or one of them in the new series, I was like, they're really doing this again.
Okay, don't poop on everything just yet.
They're really doing it.
Who is it?
Peter Dinklage.
Okay.
All right. And I mean,
I thought you said the big baddie.
Okay, that's my point. I'm sorry.
Personality and spirit.
I have watched already, I think, 3 or 4 productions with Peter Dinklage, who is a very fine actor. I am not here to take anything away from him. He's annoying. He ruined Snow White for little people, all of those things. But he's a fine actor. I think he's a fine actor. However, bringing back Dexter and one of the main scary bad guys is Peter Dinklage. This is like the 3rd or 4th thing I've seen like this. I saw one.
I feel I'm curious to see what it looks like because a little person, we have to go to break. Little person could be capable of some very creative, murderous ways.
Okay, but
Yes
if I tell you there is a mob kingpin, serial killer, leader, badass in the next room.
I'm sick of your spoilers. Enough is enough, Sean.
I'm not even saying it's from this. I'm just saying if I told you that, I'm like, real tough MFers in the next room, and then I bring you in there and Peter Dinklage is in, tell me you're not going to laugh. Tell me when you walk through the room.
I mean, Dexter's been good and scary.
Peter Dinklage is I'm sorry. He's a nice guy. No, I don't think
you don't know him.
I don't want to vouch for him being a nice guy. He might be a terrible guy. He's a fine actor. I will say that. I will repeat that. But he is not good at being the scary, intimidating character on account of the fact that he's 3 feet tall. It's just it's hard for me.
4.5. Watch your mouth.
Hard for me to pretend that is as scary. I'm worried about all these old things that they're bringing back, and they're going to ruin all of them, I think. We'll see what you think. Let us know. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com, thenewsjunkie.com. Had a bunch more stuff to rip into in the first segment. We don't have time. We have to take a quick break, Rooney, okay? We're going to take one of those. We got some news for you. We'll get into some news in a bit. I mean, like actual news.
News.
Something that we have going on. And a story that I want to tell you when we come back, it's one of the most scary stories I've heard about somebody having a panic attack. And like if you're one of these people who, oh, come on, quit being a pussy. Wait till you hear what happened to this person. This is wild. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
If I-4 is a part of your commute this morning, traffic's still slowing down through that Lake Buena Vista area. Traffic's piling up on Orange Blossom Trail near the Ramp Junction where Florida's Turnpike and the Beach Line meet. You could expect some delays on Florida's Turnpike northbound before Hancock Road. Look out for an accident reported on Boggy Creek Road near Lake Nona Boulevard. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center.
Just $30 and under, like dresses, shoes and bags, men's, and even kids' clothes. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at Macy's Next.
Hang on. How are we, everybody? I got to apologize. I have to apologize, chap. Right off the jump. I lied to you. I lied to you, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a liar, but I lied to you. I told you I was going to get a haircut over the weekend, and I didn't get a haircut. It's as bad as it's ever been, and then some. It's so bad. I said on Saturday, I was like, I'm going to wake up and go get my haircut, and Courtney goes, no, you're not. I said, I am. And then on Sunday, I'm like, I got to schedule it for today. No, you're not. I said I was going to do it, and then it didn't work out. I didn't get it worked out. You are not sorry? I'm telling you I'm sorry. I said I am sorry. I apologize. Alicia says he's growing a mullet. It's a mullet. Is it just me or is his shirt's getting tighter? Oh, I don't know. I mean, you got to remember, here's how I think the science of it works. Hang on. I think. Here's how I think the science of it works. I busted my foot up, right? And so I couldn't walk for a week and a couple of days. So I didn't get to go on my daily walks 2 miles all of those days. So I didn't cut any of those calories. And I wasn't moving around, and I think it just caught up with me. Because on Saturday, I looked on the scale, and I was 210. But I'm not drinking alcohol at home other than like THC drinks or like one little drink. So soon I will be shredding off all of this weight. Angie says, I like the curls. Angie, did you see the photo that I posted of my hair this weekend? Because you probably won't like it anymore. And also another thing. Can I say something? One of the reasons why I don't always post photos on like Twitter or Instagram as a story or something is because people go straight up Where's Waldo on me. And so just as should be expected, I guess, I post this photo of me. I'm like, look at my hair. I think I need a haircut this weekend. And almost everybody who responded was like looking into our closet, looking at all this stuff going on behind me, all the things happening in the back of the photo, like zooming in on this. Meanwhile, I freaked out because when I took the picture, I realized I only had boxers on in the bathroom, and I said, if people start zooming in, this is bad. AJ Soup says, it's okay, Sean, dad bod ain't no thing. You're still looking better than you did with heavy drinking and eating out. You're fine, keep up with the good work. It's about the process, okay? I got the walking back in now. I'm gonna be shedding weight soon. We got 2 minutes and we're coming back. The Reddit sleuth, says Ryan. I mean, it's just weird. I post a photo and I don't think about anything in the photo. I'm like, look at my hair. It looks ridiculous. I always have a hat on. Look how much I need a haircut. And I post it and everybody's like, here's what's going on in the closet. This is what's going on here. This is what's going on there. I can't protect myself from all of this. I can't do it. Enough about me. How are you doing? How is your Monday going on? And let's ask Mr. Predicto. Mr. Predicto, is everybody going to have a good week? You're going to have a good week.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. Good news from Predicto to start the week. Good week on the way. 90 seconds. Cargo Bay says peek behind the corner at your oddly clean closet. I don't clean that closet. It's just I don't know. I don't expect people to be looking through stuff like that. That's the weird thing. Started off Monday with a bang at the dentist. You're banging your dentist? Obi-Wan Kenobi, same time. Same time. All right, we are going to be back in about 30 seconds. We got a lot of stuff to jump into, including this panic attack at the worst time you could ever imagine. Let's do it. Come on.
Sponsored by AbbVie. The Medal of Honor is the highest military decoration in the United States. Recipients have done the improbable.
This medal is for the man who went down that day.
On Medal of Honor, stories of courage, you'll hear about these heroes and what their stories tell us about the nature of bravery. Listen to Medal of Honor on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Medal of Honor and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
We'll talk about that in a bit, and we'll hear from you, your dispatches, as we roll on a Monday here on the show. Learn more about everything happening on the News Junkie radio show at thenewsjunkie.com. I know the answer, I think, to these questions that I'm going to ask Sabrina and C-Lane, but I'll ask them anyways. And I'm about 100% sure that C-Lane's answer is no. But have you ever had... We'll start with Sabrina. Like a full-on panic attack.
Oh, yeah.
And if yes, what do you remember the circumstance that this happened?
Oh, I mean, I've had quite a few, I got to be honest. But the first one that comes to mind was it was after when we used to play, and by we, I mean me and friends of ours, the co-ed softball league. Fat pitches.
I remember that, yeah.
And after the game, it was one of my co-players that was telling me in full detail about having to put down a dog.
Oh, my God.
And all of a sudden, I got fully involved in it and thinking about my own pets. And I went ghost face, full sweat.
Started crumbling.
Yeah, without
tough.
a doubt. And that was a good panic attack. And then C-Lane, I believe you've seen one of them at the Wiz Khalifa Snoop Dogg.
Oh, that was a
concert.
panic attack?
Yeah, and I started sweating from the calves.
Really? That was a panic attack?
Of course he wouldn't recognize it because when I ask him, I know his answer is going to be no, I've never had a panic attack, right? Like, there's no way.
I don't know what a panic attack really is.
Exactly.
But, I think I've had some small, little kind of mini little hiccup things that I think might have been panic. I don't know. I'm talking about this for a reason. We'll get into this insane story of a woman who had a panic attack. And apparently a panic attack is what I thought was just being really, really high.
No, not that. It's different.
It's Snoop Dogg definitely involved a little bit of that. Sure.
It's very, very different than that, in as much as I've told you the story, C-Lane, where one day, and I was actually going through some emails yesterday, and I saw this email from my old APD, Assistant Program Director in Chicago, and he had emailed me And he goes, "Where are you?" All caps, question mark, question mark, question mark. And he was angry. He was real mad. He was like, "Well, everybody's waiting for you. You're supposed to be here hosting today. You were supposed to host from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we had split shifts sometimes. And then like 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., right?
All in one day?
All in one day, yeah. So there was me and one other guy. His name's Jerry Agar. You can look him up. He was a pretty cool guy. Jerry Agar. Jerry Agar is like, no, I think he's a Canadian radio guy, like a big Canadian radio guy. He was nice. We had some nice talks back and forth. But it was me and this dude, Jerry Agar, and we would do like the whole day, split up all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then if anybody was off, we would fill in throughout the whole week. So I get this email, and it's like, "Where are you? You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be hosting all day. Everybody's waiting." There are people who have been waiting for like 30 minutes, and I look and I check, and he screwed up. He never emailed me the schedule for that week, so I thought that I wasn't on. And then you guys know this part of the story. I was hanging out with some friends and partying.
Oh, yes. I do remember this.
Like Colombian marching powder kind of partying. And I was having a good time on a random weekday.
So you were awake.
I was Celsius out, if you will. My eyes were wide and I was ready to go. And then he goes, "Well, get here now, man. You've got to get here." And I had to host, I think, a total of about 7 hours or so. On like one of the biggest radio stations in the country. And so
you got that done in 2.5 hours.
No. I hauled ass into the station. I got there within about 25 or 30 minutes, and I'm still high as a kite. And I sit down in their showcase studio where it's in the middle of downtown Chicago. There's windows and stuff everywhere. And I started talking, and I started doing the show that I was not prepared for at all. And I got a little bit of traction going. I'm like, "This is going to be okay. This is going to be okay." And all of a sudden, it hit me like a wave. And I said, "I have to run out of the studio right now. Like, I need to go. I need to go. And I need to run." And just like, and I thought about like hauling ass, opening the doors, and then hitting the street and then just running down the strip in Chicago. And I'm like, I'll probably never work in radio again. Maybe I can make up something. Maybe I could tell them some big, giant secret, which is why this happened. But really, there is none. I was just panicking. And I just kind of deep breathed my way through it and somehow made it to the next break, and didn't freak out as much as I thought I was going to. This woman, no such luck. You can look her up if you want to find out some more details on this. Her name is Tijana, Tijana. Radonjic is her last name. She's from Montenegro. Radonjic is Radonjic. She was 19 years old, and I say was because this didn't go well. They said, "You're a model. We want you to help us out. We want to draw some attention to the parasailing company that we have here. Business is down. We want it to be up. Let's get this 19-year-old model on our parasailing rig, and then the rest will just fall into line. All the young influencer types will think that, hey, this is going to be great. We'll end up getting a whole bunch of business." Problem is, she gets up into the air. She's at a height of 50 meters, which is what? Is that like 200 feet or something? 50 meters? 50 meters into normal people.
164.
Oh, is it really? Oh, okay. All right.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, it's way up there, right? So it's over, 15 stories up in the air. And I guess she had never done this parasailing. And she gets hit with a wave. A panic attack hits her as she's up on this parasail in Montenegro. And she goes, "Put me down. Put me down."
Who is she talking to? I imagine there's no one near her that could hear anything.
No,
right?
because they're all the way, like they have the thing from the parasail all the way to the boat, but those boats are quite far away. I mean, they're further than the distance down. You got some distance away into the boat. And here she is, if you're watching with us today, the 19-year-old. She has this panic attack, and she goes, let me down, help me, put me down. And then she unbuckles her belt. And
no, she did not.
And she fell to her death because she had a panic attack in the parasail.
Oh,
and
God.
I thought as I was reading this story, I was like, oh, my God.
Man, she kind of disconnected the wrong thing. You know, if she would have done the other one, she would have just kind of floated down.
She might have, actually. She didn't, though, C-Lane. She did not. She fell from 50 meters, and the 19-year-old ended up not making it, obviously. The circumstances around her death remain unclear, this article says. Miss Radonchik had allegedly agreed to a free parasailing ride in exchange for the video to boost business with tourists for the summer holiday season.
Quite the opposite has happened.
No, their business is not booming now. The film was supposed to show Miss Radonchik in a bikini soaring happily over the Riviera on a parasail. But she got up there and she started panicking.
Sounds like even if she hadn't died, it would have been a failure. We got a great video of her soaring very unhappily over the ocean.
She did not like it when she got up there. Police are investigating the death, but the owner of the operating tour company said she appeared happy before the activity. She was cheerful and in a good mood before the flight. She showed no fear of heights or flying. So she got up there. And then they said from there, she just completely freaked out and starts panicking. I don't know exactly what happened. She did not show any fear of flying. She underwent training, yada, 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 yada. And then she just unbuckled herself from the heights.
How do they not have any sort of communication between the boat and the parasailer?
I've never done it before, but I don't think they...
Once you're going, you can't, like, slowly bring them down. Is that the case?
The boat can, but if they don't know that she's...
freaking out?
Yeah. And I could be totally wrong. We'll hear from it. Maybe somebody will chime in who's parasailed before. I don't think they have a radio up there with you.
No, they don't.
They should. It's not that hard at this day and age.
You could do it.
Yes.
Yeah, you could do it. And
In
you
a
could
live
say,
stream.
like, tell us what's going on, what's on your mind, how you're feeling up there. And she would be like, take me down right now. And maybe if they said, okay, we're going to take you down right now, maybe she would have chilled.
Now,
deep breath.
Did get to witness somebody freak the absolute F out going parasailing.
Oh, my God.
But
Can it wait? Can it wait?
Yeah, wait. Wait it up. Can you?
Can
you
it
wait?
Yeah, I guess it can wait.
We got to take a break.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking
it's not that big of a story. There's just a guy freaked out. It wasn't a panic attack.
But, like, you now have a commercial break to make it a better story.
What did you get worried about whether you could pay it off when we came back?
I did not know what
the tease.
I get it.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. If we're in the middle of a show and I say like, "Can it wait?" Then you go, well, wait till you hear this. And then just put in a lot of adjectives.
Yeah, and then never get back to
Stunning,
it.
unbelievable, shocking, never before heard details.
Coming up next.
You know, yes, yeah. Anyways, was it just the person freaked out?
You'll have to find out. Never before heard details.
That was good. C-Lane, you're on to something.
I don't know if he is. This woman didn't do very well. We'll see what happened in C-Lane's story, even though I feel like we already heard it. But we'll see. We'll dive into that. We'll get into the details when we come back. We'll see what you got going on. We got something in the rock music world we got to talk about. The box office, some emails coming in, a whole bunch, even Operation Spiderweb. It's all in the way, and some big news as well. And it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you.
Hey. Yes. Sorry to anybody in Tampa who didn't get the show this weekend. We had some weird technical issues, so we missed air in Tampa. But we got it fixed for next week, I think. Hello, everybody. Oh, no, I cut off his live reading. Hello, weed consumer. Hello, all our friends on YouTube, Twitch, and indeed Facebook. What do you got? Oh, Celsius? Yeah. Getting high as a kite. Ooh, kiwi guava?
That's enough. don't have one. Sean, are you purposely taking more now?
No, I wanted just a little bit to fuel up. I didn't know you were going to get mad about it.
I was offering you some.
What are you doing? Where are you going? You're not going to tell me? You have to tell me.
I don't have to tell you.
I guess you don't have to, but why would you not tell me? Do you know what an emote is?
Yeah.
What is an emote?
It's like a moving emoji.
It's a moving emoji?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a moving emoji, but kind of.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Is it GIF or GIF? Do you know?
I say GIF.
Okay. Why?
I don't know, it's just what I say.
Do you know what Flash is?
Show your boobies.
That's not the same thing. It's not on the internet Flash. It kind of is on the internet Flash, though. It's the same but different. What'd you think of that movie last night?
I thought it was okay, but it ended too abruptly.
That's the second movie you put on that ended too abruptly like that. Yeah. After, what was the other one?
After Dawn?
After Dawn, which was okay, and it was like decent, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, it just ends out of nowhere. And what was the one last night called?
Devil.
Devil. Which I really like that guy, that the main actor guy. I think he's good for some reason. The dark-haired guy in Devil, I thought he was good. But they're saying that you should cut my hair on the show.
That wouldn't be very good content.
Yeah, you guys should know that yesterday when I showed her my hair, she laughed so hard at me, and she was saying how I needed to go immediately to get a haircut, and it was a real disaster. Didn't you?
I laughed.
What do you think about my hair?
I think it's crazy.
Why is it crazy?
There's too much of it.
I don't know about too much of it, but it's a little curly. What do you think about guys with curly hair?
I don't think about that.
Wow, guys with curly hair, she doesn't think about you.
Okay, we don't need to get into this. Jesus.
Why, is this controversial?
No, I don't just sit and think about guys.
You think about girls?
No.
See you later, man. Where are you going? Oh. Where are you going? She showed me her butt. She just showed me her butt. She didn't show me her butt. 1 minute, folks. We watched Mountainhead this weekend. It was all right. I don't know if I've seen anything about that. Mountainhead? It's making me think of Fountainhead, but I don't think that's it, right? Like it's something else. Sean reminds me of Wimpy sometimes. Like from Popeye? Like Wimpy and Bluto or whatever? Anybody else? Anybody else on this or no? All right, here we go.
Food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Big news for drivers. Presets have landed on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with iHeartRadio. Access your favorite stations, podcasts, and playlists instantly right from your dashboard. Try the free iHeartRadio app on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and take those presets for a spin.
Stay connected and stay productive with Rapid Radios. Business owners trust Rapid Radios for instant, reliable team communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected's never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row. It's the
The three best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. Learn more at thenewsjunkie.com, thenewsjunkie.com. Previously on The News Junkie, Sealand was about to tell us a banger story about a friend of his. An unbelievable story full of twists, turns, and all the drama you would expect on an episode of The Bachelorette.
Almost paradise.
Take it away, C-Lane.
Why are you doing this to me, man?
Why?
Why are you doing this to me?
He cleaned the bus
Doing
before
what?
he threw you under it. Don't worry.
I'm not hitting him with a bus here. I had to pause because we were a little bit late on the break, as happens around here. That one guy on Facebook is probably so mad today. Was
that a Facebook guy?
Because I thought, but there was one guy on social media like, this is so unprofessional. They don't go to break on.
Shut up.
Sean is constantly asking, do I need to go to break
What,
right
did you
now?
used to work here, man? Like, how do you even know what time we're supposed to go to break?
Things have changed, sucker.
Are you in the sales department?
Yeah.
All right.
What?
Epic story time.
Yeah, wait. So one of the most incredible tales ever told, a biblical story from Christopher Lane.
So I was watching this guy go parasailing. And he peed himself.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
That is actually embarrassing. Yeah, that would be.
What kind of bathing suit was he wearing? Like, was it soaked up, or did we have a trail of pee-pee?
There was a, you know.
But could he have just said, "Oh, that's the water from my bathing suit"?
He hadn't hit the water yet.
Oh no!
See, when you go parasailing, they do like a dip, right?
Okay, this is pre-dip.
It was before the dip for
When
sure.
you dip, I dip?
Yeah. Also,
good.
it was a tandem. So
he peed on a guy.
Well, there were some other people with him.
Oh Jesus! Oh, that's no good.
Yeah.
What's up, fam?
Yeah, that is no good. That is no good, and it's a day full of no good. I hate to bring this to you.
Oh, bad new bear.
I hate what?
Bad new bear?
Bad news bear.
The
Trying
old
to
bear.
separate the
The old
kiddos.
bear was completely fine.
What are you, 6? Bad no bear.
I'm going.
I'm pretty sure I can get my son to say that.
I am talking to the younger folk that listen to the show. Fam,
new
no
bear.
cap.
Bad new bear. Okay.
He's gonna write that. You're gonna name that the episode, aren't you?
Maybe not. Let's go to Missouri. And these people in Missouri having a tough time. They have spent the last 3 months fixing their house because there was there's like an area nearby where a car flew up into the air and nosedived through the roof of their house.
Oh, didn't we see that on the show? Didn't we I thought that was a video or a picture at least that we had
might
seen.
have. We may have. But thankfully, these people have been working together with some other folks in the neighborhood. And they said, we got to repair the damage. We can't live in this place. A car, literally, think about it like a car nosediving through the roof of your house, just completely demolishing a good portion of your house.
Oy.
And they got it all fixed up this weekend and reopened things, and they were back to normal. And another car drove through the roof.
No way.
I'm not kidding you. I'm being honest with
Do
you.
they want to take care of the ramp that they have apparently right in front of the house?
Like a car flew through the roof of their place. They've took 3 months. They've fixed it all. They put the last tile on the roof, and almost immediately after, boom! Another car flies up in the air and nosedives through the roof of the house. And I wonder if you fix it at that point, or if you just go, well,
I wonder if you can sell it after that point.
This is your house, right? This house, the one where people dive bomb the roof. I think this is a news story on this. Let's see. All right, there's the house crashing. Is that just an engine?
Video of a crash that defies belief, and this has happened before.
Oh,
we come down here and the car's embedded in the building again.
For the second time in.
All right, look, an entire car here in the roof of this building, and the graphics on the screen for the news report say, car crashes through roof, ... again.
I'm sure whoever typed that did it had the biggest smile on his face.
I thought it'd never happen again, and here we are.
4 months, a car launching off this street in Excelsior Springs, Missouri.
That's crazy. The place that we're talking about is below a hilly area. And I'll go back here for those of you watching. And there's a hill with a ramp if somebody doesn't turn, and it launches the cars.
Excelsior Springs, Missouri.
That's them
crashing
down there.
Through the roof of a veterans hall.
Damn.
Surveillance video shows the car driving off the cliff, then flipping onto that roof. Debris flying over the building, the impact so violent, the engine was thrown out of the car.
If that engine comes out, I couldn't imagine how a human wouldn't come out of the car if he wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Incredibly, the driver was able to walk to an ambulance.
Should have been wearing a seatbelt.
Hold on. The driver was able to walk to an ambulance? How does one even walk? Like your car
arms
is
hurt, not your legs.
Is the car? I imagine maybe the car's like hitting the floor inside the house or something.
Yeah, he just got out of the vehicle and he was in the rec room. Took the stairs down,
rappelled down, and then some vet in there goes, "Son of a bitch! You know, we just fixed this. We just remedied this problem."
Ambulance. Authorities say the curve of the road makes it hard to see that cliff on the other side. Back in February, a suspect fleeing police crash landed onto the same roof, injuring.
All right, I was wondering. I was like, why do they have the mugshot of the previous guy that did this?
He was on a police chase. Yeah. He was busy. That guy was on the move.
So this next guy, there was no police chase. It was just
maybe,
reckless,
I don't know.
2 teenagers and leading to criminal charges. Repairs from that crash were still not finished at the time of this new crash.
Right through.
We do the best we can around here. Any help from the community or anything would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, if you don't mind, can you please help us out? We got a bit of a problem on our hands. What do you do? If that's you, do you rebuild or do you say...
I just want to be a fly on the wall for that call to the insurance company after the call they made just a little.
Hang on. You're telling me another car dive bombed through the roof of your place?
It screams fraud.
Is there an obstacle or some sort of diversion that you could build above the roof that would make the car kind of go the other way?
What if it's just a big enough ramp to clear the house completely?
Yeah, that's the only way. The only thing to do is, Sabrina's right, you got to lean into it. You got to go, look, this ramp is phenomenal. If it were a little better, we wouldn't have to worry about this ever again. Right on over. Now, they're dead on the other side. Flat as a pancake.
No, you just have to do the off-ramp. Just a nice circus.
Okay.
Get involved.
All right, this is dangerous, but somebody says, how about guardrails? Guardrails ain't going to help you when the car is flying.
Yeah.
The car is flying and then zooming down into your house.
You ever seen the guardrails that get put up because the house used to get hit a lot? The guardrails aren't like these pristine, great-looking, fixes everything guardrails. They're usually pretty banged up, too, because they keep getting hit.
True. It happens. It happens, absolutely. So here we are, and what do we do with this house? Let us know what you think. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, we got some news for you on the way. We got some emails rolling in, and a whole bunch more to get to on a busy Monday. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
It's never been easier to listen to Real Radio 104.1 wherever you go. Make us your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic's piling up on Florida's Turnpike due to an accident northbound before Hancock Road. One lane's getting by. Emergency crews are on the roadways, and traffic is backed up from Oakland Exchange. There's still some slowdowns on I-4 eastbound between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535. You won't be expecting any trouble around the perimeter of I-4 on State Road 429 or the Greenway, but if you do see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Tired of feeling alone in your job search? With just one connection, you can find endless job opportunities. That connection is Express Employment Professionals. Don't go it alone. Visit ExpressPros.com to find the location nearest you. That's ExpressPros.com.
Studies have shown that less than 20% of people compare the first mortgage quote they get. So, if you already have a mortgage quote and you're wondering if it's any good, wonder no more and go to thatmortgageguydawn.com. Compare your quote. It's so easy to do it. And you won't be a slacker. You're actually going to get ahead of the game and work with someone you could trust. And that's That Mortgage Guy Dawn. You go to the website, thatmortgageguydawn.com, hit the button that says compare, upload your quote, and That Mortgage Guy Dawn will let you know if it's any good. Simple as that. Plus, if it's not any good, he's going to help you find the best deal. So don't miss the boat. Compare your quote today and work with an expert and a friend that you could trust. Go to thatmortgageguydawn.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguydawn.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving,
Did another upgrade on the studio for what it's worth. Can you guys see the couch mini? Here. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? Is it on my ass? Is the camera on my ass? Don't go on my... Not my... Over here. The couch mini. Upgraded that. Controls a lot of stuff. All the buttons, all kinds of stuff. Faster, smoother today. Was it showing my ass? Can I trust this camera or no? Get lower? I thought I was down about as low as I can get. One of the most exciting things to come before this new switcher, well, when the new switcher comes, is finally I'm going to get a new shot of me, which will show me centered on the desk. So it'll be like a straight on shot of this, which will work for vertical videos, and it'll work for horizontal videos, like this. It'll work both ways, this way and this way. So that will be very nice, and a little less up in my face, which I think is good. Got some news on the way. Honestly, we've got news about 3 different things that we could talk about here. Question, chat. Question. Gather around. Did anybody see Bring Her Back this weekend? Did anybody see Bring Her Back this weekend? Probably the only new movie at the theater that I think looks interesting. It's from the people behind, oh God, Talk to Me. It's from the people behind the movie Talk to Me, where you grab the hand, and it was like this whole horror movie with this idea of this porcelain or whatever hand that they found. When you grab the arm, it transports you inside of this weird world. It was pretty scary and good. It relied a little much for me on like people hurting themselves, which I don't necessarily like, but it was inventive. Talk to Me was so good, says Alicia. Yes, but the new one, Bring Her Back. The new one. Anybody watch that? Bring Her Behind. No. Bring Her Back. AJ says, I do think Feral Kitten saw it. Well, if somebody saw it, it was going to be her. It's not in a whole lot of theaters just yet, but I'm hearing like really, really good things and then really, really bad things. I'm just sitting here waiting for them to screw up Stranger Things. Okay, we're coming back. News in a minute here. Pretty intense? Intense good or intense bad?
Sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil Nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Think orange for your next vehicle. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Broadcasting live from the world's most dysfunctional think tank. This is the news.
A shirt, so I can just wear it around here, and I'll look, point at the shirt, and say, "Now you know. Now you know." Once again, I was right. It happens on the daily around here, and there's no credit that's given when it goes down. But for instance, Christine emailed the show and was talking about flights because we talked about this. I didn't hear anybody else talking about this. We talked about this thing that was being uncovered, where people started looking at all of the airlines, and they said, "What the hell? If you fly by yourself on all these airlines, they're secretly charging you way more money than if you fly with a friend or fly with like your family or something." And sometimes it was more expensive, and I kid you not, like it was more expensive in a couple of cases to buy a solo ticket than to buy 2 seats next to each other.
Right.
That's wild.
Or just 2 seats in general, yeah.
Yeah, just like two seats was cheaper than 1 seat. Like they were punishing solo flyers. Like, you loser, here you go, deal with this. Christine said, "I literally booked travel last night and got really concerned when I heard you say as a single flyer I was paying more, so I checked. I looked at the same flight that I booked for myself last night, but changed it to 2 travelers, and the cost was exactly double. Then, because I'm a little weird, I tested other flights at different times and saw the same result. Not sure where the story came from. As a podcast listener, I could have gone back, but I'm calling BS. I tell you this, friend, I see this morning that they are admitting it. The airlines are admitting that this happened. The 3 largest carriers, American Airlines, United Airlines, and Delta, have admitted that this is indeed the case.
Is
the
this a sorry, not sorry, or they're going to change things?
They suggested that maybe they were going to loosen up on this a little bit, but I think that that's just something that they do. I think that they just do this. Since the report came out, Delta and United have quietly pivoted to charging solo passengers the same as members of larger groups. As of Friday, American Airlines was sticking to its pricing strategy. So American Airlines is still more expensive for one person to fly sometimes than 2, because you get that solo tax hitting you, the loser tax. Trust me, I have flown many times by myself. I have flown many times by myself and bought a ticket by myself. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of times you have to do that for work. But, you know, when you get down to the bottom of it, it should be a fair price for everybody, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like it should. But the airline said over the weekend, we rolled that back. We're going to make this a little bit more fair. So, Christine, maybe you were seeing them making those changes in real time, but I assure you it was right.
When we first talked about it, I think I read that there were some things in place to try and prevent people from purposely buying 2 tickets and not using both of them. So sort of like the thing with skip lagging, where if you don't take your connecting flight, some of your airlines will cancel the return flight. Yeah. So I think they're just trying to keep people from gaming the system.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like when we, the little people, figure out and get one
system.
over. They're gaming us. The system is gaming us.
System.
They are, but it still seems messed up that solo travelers are getting hit that hard. It seems to be an affront to anything and everything happening in the travel world. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things that I think over time will really iron itself out. We'll have to see if they sort this out with these airlines. Let us know if you've run into this. Go to tips@thenewsjunkie.com or thenewsjunkie.com, where you can send a dispatch. I was trying to find somebody who watched the new movie over the weekend, because Lilo and Stitch is still printing money. Biggest movie of the year, I believe, aside from Minecraft. Minecraft, number 1 with the chicken jockey action. And then number 2 on the year, I think, is Lilo and Stitch. People just love that Lilo and Stitch. Except for some people who were mad about the ending. And they were like, oh, the messaging on this.
Is it not the same ending as the animation?
They changed it a little bit.
Hey.
I don't think this is
so
spoiler
this is a
alert.
remake? Wait.
No, it's a live action version of Lilo and Stitch.
In quotes, like sort of like the live action Lion King?
No. Well, yeah, I mean, there's real actors in this.
In there.
There's real actors, and then there's Stitch, the little character, a little goblin alien guy or whatever. And I don't. Is this a spoiler? Does anybody care about a spoiler for Lilo and Stitch?
I mean, I was going to watch it when it was available.
Spoiler. Right. Sorry. At the end, I guess the authorities decide that this Hawaiian family is not appropriate for housing this little alien crazy person. and they are going to have the alien crazy person live with the grandmother instead, and they're going to like watch over her. And there were people going, how could they do this? And it's like,
he deserves to be with his family. It's not really his family because he's not from Earth.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think if Mac and Me were to come to life, which, fingers crossed, please let it happen to me. If Mac and Me happens and you encounter an alien and the alien starts living with you and the alien becomes your buddy and stuff, I don't think the federal government or the state of Hawaii or like your parents or anybody in the world will be like, all right, fine, you can have the crazy little alien character. We don't know anything about them, but you can have them at your house.
Isn't Mac and Me the movie that Paul Rudd had the bit where when he went to late night shows and they're like, let's watch a clip of the new Paul Rudd movie, and it's always Mac and Me?
Yes, it was a great bit, too. It's like a
Spoiler
terrible,
alert again. Damn it, guys.
low-quality alien movie, but still a classic for some. Lilo and Stitch, #1 at the box office. Mission Impossible 2, The Final Reckoning. I haven't seen the last 5 of those, I don't think, so I don't know that I'm going to tune in now. Karate Kid Legends. They're swimming off of that show on, was it Netflix?
Yeah.
Cobra Kai?
Mm-hmm.
Cobra Kai, very successful. And Karate Kid Legends actually did surprisingly well. Even though, I don't know, was it Will Smith's kid that was in the Karate Kid for a little while there?
Cobra Kai? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, and it's somehow...
the remake of Karate Kid.
Yeah, he was in the movie, too. It somehow is doing pretty well. Final Destination, Bloodlines.
Despite Will Smith's kid being in it?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of cornball, that kid, but I guess it's working. #5, Bring Her Back. That's the movie that I wanted to ask people about, because Bring Her Back is... done by the people who did the movie Talk to Me, if you've ever seen that. Talk to Me was this movie, small budget, I believe out of Australia, and they had a really cool prop from it that I hadn't seen anything quite like it. It was like an arm, a statue of an arm.
It was like if you ever did those molds, and usually it's like you holding hands with your partner, and that's what you display on your mantle, but... Same idea, just a hand.
I shouldn't say a statue of an arm. What I mean to say is, like, if Sabrina had one in front of her, she could fake arm wrestle with it. Like, you could put your hand around it, you could fake arm wrestle if you wanted to. But the idea is, in this movie, you would hold the hand, and you would say, talk to me, and it would, like, zap you into this crazy world, and it was fun and interesting and scary. And the people behind that have a new movie out called Bring Her Back. So if you've seen that, let us know, good, bad, otherwise. We take everybody as reviewers around here. Send your dispatch over to thenewsjunkie.com.
We watched 2. Well, one of them wasn't brand new movies over the weekend. One of them was that Mickey 17.
How was that?
That was the first movie in a very long time that I've turned off.
Okay.
Oh, really? I didn't like it either.
Terrible.
The trailer was, why is he speaking like that?
He picked an accent that I think was
Edward Cullen. What's his face? What's his name?
From Twilight. Right?
But what's the actor's name?
I can't remember. You have to look it up. But the Mickey
17.
I tried to watch that too, and the accent that he picked was so bad in the voiceover, and it was like
Robert Pattinson.
I like the idea of the movie, that there's a guy who accidentally volunteers to die over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That seems kind of fun. But the execution, I agree, not so good. Not so good.
The other one we watched, and it was just really a bad weekend for me picking movies. Was the new Steve Carell movie with who's the guy that was in Phantom Planet? Jason Schwartzman.
Yep,
Jason Schwartzman. Right?
Yeah.
Where they're all billionaires. It's called Mountainhead, and it was
somebody in chat just said that was good. It wasn't good.
For a while. Don't be on your phone during that movie. You got to pay attention to know what's going on. The trailer made it seem a lot cooler, and then it just like you don't really know. I had a hard time figuring out what the deal was, like what was happening, and then towards the end, it ramps up and it actually got pretty funny. But overall, it was just kind of like this is not what the trailer thought.
You can't pick movies for June, it seems.
That would be brilliant. I would love that punishment. But the punishment for Ashley is like, no, you have to pick all the movies now.
Quick sidebar here. This whole thing where you go, don't be on your phone during that movie. Shouldn't you not be on your phone during any movie? No phone time during any movie that you're watching.
Yeah, but I'm in my house. I can do what I want.
Of course you can, but we put up our phones when we're going to watch a movie.
Good for you.
I'm not doing holier than thou. I'm saying, like, give the movie your attention.
That's not what we do.
All right, hold on. Let's see where people are at on this. Can we put a poll up on YouTube?
Yeah, pull it up.
I don't even know if C-Lane can do it. Do you have the ability to do that?
I don't think I
C-Lane?
have the access to do that.
Okay, I'll put it up. I'll put it up here because I want to see where people are at on that. Because for me, I think even if at home, certainly in a theater, if you're watching a movie, I feel like your phone should be up.
We
I feel
often deliberately pick things that we don't have to think too hard about because we know that at the very least, Ashley will be on her phone,
of course,
for much of the time.
And that's, the beauty of being at home watching a movie. Also, along with that beauty is being able to rewind because something has just happened.
We've been rewinding the whole time.
I've done it.
Really?
I mean, there are some sessions and movies that have taken like 3 days because we have to go back and rewatch and see the pivotal moment that's happened.
Part of the problem was during the first 10 to 20 minutes of the movie, we were going through and looking at pictures and video because we took our baby to the beach for the first time.
Oh.
He got to experience the ocean and the sand and play around, and it was lots of fun.
So cute.
So we sit down and watch the movie, then look at cute pictures of baby. And then we got through that, and we went, do you know what's happening here? It's like, I have no clue.
You can't do both at the same time.
And Ashley goes, I feel with the dialogue and everything, I feel like I'm watching Succession and I have no clue what's happening. And she looked at IMDb further on her phone and found out that it was the same writer as the writer of Succession.
Oh.
Yeah, we will literally pause our movie if we need to go see who's in a scene and bring up a phone and do IMDb. But Tammy says, if it's that boring, then I'm not going to finish it anyways. Kev says on YouTube, I'm only on my phone if the movie starts to suck. If the movie is boring and sucks, I'm definitely on my phone, said David. But if you don't have the option of having your phone to begin with, you can sink in more to the movie. And
that's where movie theaters come into play because you don't want to be that person unless you've turned down the brightness all the way. And in my case, I can't see anything. My eyes do not work for that low of brightness. And that's where the theater has your full attention.
Yes, it does. It sweeps you away from it, I think. But so far, 95% put away your phones, 5% on your phones for the YouTube poll. We'll keep an eye on that as the show goes on a little bit here. But, we certainly do that. And Courtney is on. Courtney picks the greatest movies ever. She does all this great research into finding stuff that is so off the beaten path. It's a fine time. But she strikes out every once in a while.
Oh, yeah?
Can you pull
You
up,
have one in mind, don't you?
Can you pull up the lines on this? Where they give you a brief rundown of what's in the movie?
Yeah.
Sure. She goes, Sean, I got this movie. Immediately, I got kind of excited because she goes, it's called Hanky Panky. And I go, all right. Well, what is this, the 60s? And this is some sort of sexy movie?
From 1982?
No, 2023.
Okay.
2023.
You ready for the...
It's called Hanky Panky from 2023.
Gosh.
A man and his sentient napkin friend learn to love and save the world from a dark evil at a cabin deep in the Utah mountains.
It's a napkin versus a hat.
Guys, I think I know the problem.
What? The premise?
Get on your phones more?
No. Mountainhead takes place at some billionaire's cabin in the Utah mountains.
The
problem is Utah.
I thought the problem was the talking napkin.
Yeah,
I think crazy.
When she kept saying, she goes, "You got it.
But you're talking to the guy that recommended Butt Boy. The rules
Butt Boy is great.
The rules are different for Sean.
No, Butt Boy is great. Some of these movies that I've seen are so great. Bubba Hotep, great. These are movies that nobody's heard of, but they're so good. They're really good. We just watched Devil last night. Devil, which was about these people in an elevator, the situation they were in. She finds these movies, and some of them are so good. They're such a good time. On the other hand, Hanky Panky, the movie about a top hat and a napkin, was a swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
Poor Seth Green.
Not a good time.
He played the hat in case people were wondering.
Congrats, Seth. Yeah. Said it couldn't be done. Kevin emails the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Hey, Sean, longtime listener for 11 years.
Damn.
Kevin says, I love the skull mic you added for the breaks. You should have a dirty dispatch option on the site, and you could play those during skull mic. That is a terrible idea, Kevin. You think I'm not going to get dirty dispatches and clean dispatches mixed up? No cursing in dispatches, just across the board. dispatches are for the show, and hopefully it's your good feedback. In fact, we have some of them rolling in right now. This is the moment where you go, hey, I'm important too. I'm important. I want to talk about what's going on in the show. I want to talk about what this news is that they're going to discuss today. I want to know more. Let's see what we have here. Here is Chris P. Bacon with our first dispatch of the week. Hello?
15 years ago, I flew from Orlando to Detroit.
Hang on, let me bring him back because I cut him off. That's my fault. That's my B. I got it.
Hey, Sean, that happened to me about 15 years ago. I flew from Orlando to Detroit, and the flight wasn't too bad of a price. It was like $196 nonstop, but the problem after that was the actual total of the ticket was like 400 and something, and it had like baggage handling fees and these other fees and like this ass tax, like clown fees, and it was just all this other stuff. And I'm making up those last couple ones, but
no, crispy bacon
fees and taxes were almost twice as much as the actual cost of the flight. So anyway, not worth it. Screw you, Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, I mean those airlines kind of do that. That's what they're known for, right? They're known for like nickel and diming you, and you go, whoa, $99 per way, and then out the door it's
it's like $2 burger night, where they charge you for every single topping you want on it. Like if you just give them $2, they just give you a bun and some meat.
Yeah, and then it doesn't seem very impressive, and then you go,
unless you like a bun and meat.
Yeah, what you might want that. You might want simple. That might be what you're into. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to more of you, and we'll get to some news. I think we'll do this news that we have going on after the next episode. I think we'll work it in.
Teaser.
In there. Or maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. Does that cut off markets? That cuts off some markets, doesn't it?
I mean,
I don't think so.
Up for listening to
all right,
news.
Yeah, and if you miss out on this wherever you're listening to the show today, you can always go back to the podcast and see what was going on about halfway through the show. So we will get to that. We'll get to this Ukraine-Russia thing, which was crazy. I can't wait to talk about that. And maybe more importantly, the next thing we'll discuss on the show real quick to get us geared up for the next episode, something that went down at a Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's. Everybody across the country, does everybody know about Jersey Mike's?
Yeah,
across the country.
I think so.
Yeah.
The national? I don't know if they were like a regional
Definitely
thing.
out of Jersey.
I think so, yeah. And we'll learn more about Jersey Mike's, but more importantly, it was about a woman who came into a Jersey Mike's this weekend and left a note behind. What was in that note? What happened afterwards? It's a wild story. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic slowing down due to an accident on I-4 eastbound before Saxon Boulevard. The right lane's blocked there. There's an accident reported blocking the left lane on Aloma Avenue eastbound before Severin Boulevard. There's a tip line at 866.
Kind of nailed that, if you ask me. Hey, everybody. Hey, B-Haw. How are you, B-Haw? I hope you had a great weekend. Hi, Ryan. Same to you. Hi, Cargo. Hi, Jason. Hiya. I had a weekend, she says. Hey, before we get to this segment, I want to get an idea of where you're at. Jersey Mike's yes or Jersey Mike's no? Are we on Team Jersey Mike's? Jersey Mike's yes or Jersey Mike's no? No? I don't hate it. I saw the handle turn. What?
It says it's just cloudy, but it looks like it's gonna rain.
Yeah? Well, you know what I think you should do?
What?
Are you brave?
Okay.
Are you tough?
No.
Are you cool?
No.
Are you awesome?
Yeah, sometimes.
You really don't think very highly of yourself. I think you're brave. And cool.
Well, what happens if I'm 3 miles away from home and it starts raining?
Is it raining out there right now?
No.
Do you want me to look? What's my weather going to be different than your weather?
I don't think it will be.
Well, you make a decision.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
Okay, be safe out there. You want me to go with you?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do for the rest of the show, though? You have anything to say to the people? Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah.
You talk about it?
No.
Oh.
You're not listening?
I am listening.
Yeah, so much so.
You haven't talked about it.
No, I haven't. No, we're gonna talk about the news later, after the next episode.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
You got a problem with me today?
No.
Sounds like you got a problem with me.
No.
Are you mad that I made fun of your movie that you picked?
No, it was horrible.
It's not your fault.
I know.
I mean, it is kind of your fault. Don't pick your nose. I'll show people you're picking your nose. I can bring the camera over there.
I'm joking. Alright, see you later.
Okay, bye. Be safe.
Thank you.
Love you. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. All right, guys, she's finally gone. I'm finally Korean. FFS, do your personal stuff on your own time. This is time for work. This is work. What are you talking about? This is work. I like Firehouse too. Firehouse subs are good, but I don't know if Firehouse subs are as good as Jersey Mike's. Because Jersey Mike's, the wraps is where it's at. That's what I'm all about. Courtney says, don't start fights with her, Sean. Is that Courtney saying don't start fights with her, Sean? Or is that another Courtney? I don't know. Is this another Courtney, or is Courtney out there going, don't start fights with her, Sean? 90 seconds, and we're coming back on the show. I literally just ordered a bad as-is sandwich for pickup. Good for you. Get it. All right, you got to hear this story. This Jersey Mike story is pretty crazy. And it makes you think about all the things that are going on around you. I still want to talk about Ukraine and Russia because the story behind this Operation Spiderweb is absolutely nuts. Lots and lots of good stuff on the way. Lots of twists and turns. Some news coming up. And more. And it's all coming up next on the News Junkie. Forgot which part is the show anymore. Yeah.
Free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Sarah Jessica Parker almost walked away from Sex and the City. She talks about that and a lot more on Are You a Charlotte? Plus, Snoop Dogg spills about his inauguration performance backlash, and trust me, he's got a lot of things to say about it with The Breakfast Club. And Aubrey O'Day, Diddy's former protege, joins Amy Robach and TJ Holmes for exclusive coverage of the trial that's gripping the nation.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Tackling sensitive subjects with unparalleled irreverence.
Things we need to tell you about. We'll see how everybody digests that news in just a bit on the show. And if you miss anything, always get the podcast. The links are ready for you on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. Jersey Mike's is the place. That's where this goes down. If you're the uninitiated, which C-Lane tells me, C-Lane says Jersey Mike's is in all 50 states.
Yeah, and Mexico and Canada.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's your
like
Starbucks, McDonald's kind of deal.
Is Burger King in all 50 states? It's got to be,
I'm
right?
sure.
Yeah, Burger King is still big. Yeah, like not nearly what it used to be, but there's very few of these chains that are in every single state operating. Jersey Mike's is one of them, and this happened in Florida, and in Santa Rosa County, where this went down. And an employee was at this Jersey Mike's sandwich shop. Again, for the uninitiated, it's pretty simple. It is what you think it would be. And this woman goes into this place and I guess, orders her food and then goes to get out of there. And she leaves behind a note. And the employees didn't even find the note for a little while. Like some time had gone by. And when they found the note, they said, quick, pull up the security camera. We got to figure out what this note was all about and who left it here so we can learn more. And when they chased down the note, they ran into this guy who was a wrestler. He was a wrestler and was apparently holding this woman hostage. And she left a note behind at the Jersey Mike's to the employees going, help me, please. Like completely freaking out. The story says an employee at a Jersey Mike's sandwich shop in Florida thought the paper she found in the restroom was garbage, but it was apparently a call from help from an alleged domestic violence victim. Crazy. The Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office announced in a press release that 34-year-old Jordan Williams was arrested on Wednesday and charged with several domestic violence felonies, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, kidnapping with false imprisonment, and battery. The call came from a Jersey Mike's after an employee found a note in the bathroom. Let me see. I want to see the note. I don't know if they show the note or not. I do have a story on this. Let's peek in.
This Navarre man is charged with kidnapping, battery, and assault, and he will remain in jail without bond.
Good.
The sheriff's office says they have a history with 34-year-old Jordan Williams, who you saw there, and domestic violence-related incidents. And deputies say the victim in this latest case left a note pleading for help inside the bathroom of a Navarre sandwich shop.
Man, I wonder how many people would see this and be like, real funny. Real funny. You leave a note behind at the Jersey Mike's, like we're supposed to do something about this. And then you don't realize it's 100% real. They acted like it was, and I'm glad they did.
Tonight, Haley Samples spoke with the employee who found that note that led to the woman's rescue.
The investigation started when deputies were called to a Jersey Mike's restaurant on Navarre Parkway earlier this week. That's where an employee saw something out of the ordinary. Sandwich artist Eleanor Coffey.
Oh, they called her a sandwich artist in the story. They could have just said
I thought that was Subway.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe she had great sandwiches.
They could have just said Jersey Mike's employee, but they said sandwich artist, and she's got her little get up on this girl. She's the one, thank God, who responded to this.
Mary. Sandwich artist Eleanor Coffey expected Tuesday to be a normal day at the sandwich shop. That was until she noticed something suspicious.
Something ain't right.
There was this little piece of crumpled up paper that was shoved next to our toilet paper dispenser, and it looked like a piece of trash.
Coffey opened up the paper and was alarmed by the message inside.
She was like, please help me. I'm at this address in Navarre. I need you to call the police and do a wellness check.
According to deputies, the victim wrote she was being held hostage. Coffey says she told her manager and immediately called 911.
Smart. They immediately called the cops. The note said, please get me home. Help in all caps, exclamation point. Get me home before May 30th. And for whatever reason, they found this note about 20 minutes after the couple left.
Well, rent's due on the 1st.
The guy was a wrestler by the name of Jaden Steele. I don't know if you guys can look that up, if you could find out if he's
also,
like actually
sounds
serious.
Like a porn name, so.
Jaydensteele. Jaden Steele is the guy's name, who is a wrestler. It says he's on the indie circuit, a professional wrestler. It goes by the name Jaden Steele in the ring. And I guess he was keeping this woman against her will at this place.
Boy. According to ringsidenews.com.
I'm listening.
For all your wrestling news. I have his mugshot now. Quite the hairstyle.
Yeah. Got some blue hair.
The promo photo on 411 Mania is even worse.
Of him in his wrestler gear? Is that what it is?
This guy looks like a tool.
Big time. Oh, but they don't give any information about his wrestling career.
History of domestic violence, though. So this woman was just like the latest to be under this monster's thumb. And you think about this in the future, you're at some place, you see a note left behind, you start to think, oh, cute, this is funny, real funny of everybody to leave this. No, this was the real deal. And they ended up helping this woman out and saving her for the violent relationship she was stuck in. Let us know what you think. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com.
I'm sending you the link. Look at the promo photo of this dude.
Hold on. Man, incoming. It's going through the internet.
Wait for it.
Right now.
Wait for it.
It's come through on my phone. There it is right there. Independent wrestler Joe. Is that him with the blue hair?
Yeah.
It's good.
Ay.
He's doing like a two in the
shocker.
He's doing like a shocker thing with his hands, and he's next to some other guy.
Owie.
And this says Sunday, March 16th, Billy Atkins Community Center, nonstopwrestling.com. Jaden Steele versus Sage Scott. So some kind of independent wrestler guy who was all hopped up on crazy and just started attacking this person. Enough to freak you out, I'm sure, and I feel for her. I'm glad that they got her out of that situation. Shouts out to the sandwich artist. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. Hero is your title, not just sandwich artist. That's not enough. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina. What's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? To kick off this beautiful week, I've got Cardi B / Offset divorce details. Money style. 50 Cent wants to touch base with Trump, and Tay-Tay got her music back, baby. Man is suing a Disney and just Disney itself.
Just one.
FATTY.
Oh.
Plus, we say goodbye to Houlihan from MASH because they are DEAD. What's that thing
Nailed
called?
it. Nailed it.
Asterisk. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
All right. We got that. We got more for you. Got some announcements. We got a lot on a Monday. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show. It's like a live podcast that happens every afternoon on your radio. The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Go, Black Squad! Obi-Wan Kenobi says, what's the big news? I missed it? I'm Korean now. I'm a Korean woman. Yeah. I've fully come out and embraced it. I'm a Korean woman now. The show title will stay the same. All the public info will stay the same, but I'm a woman. Get a peek, boys. Take it all in. All right, we got the next episode coming up, then we'll roll out some news for you. Some news about the show. Some things you might want to hear. Some details, some information. Publix is always kind of busy, but I love it, says Landscape. You mean the Publix sandwich artists that are back there making great stuff? Hello?
Okay, I'm just going to go to Home Depot and Publix.
Okay.
Because it's just gross.
It's not good? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, do you need chicken or anything else?
Do I? I think I do, actually. I think I have plenty of rice.
Okay.
But if you don't mind grabbing me some.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, folks. Sean is turning Japanese. I really think so. Hang on. Hang on, folks. Hold up. Hang on. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the delay. We're coming back in 2 minutes. How you doing, everybody? How is everybody on a Monday? We good? We're going to miss Amy Caulfield for a bit here. Just for the record, we're going to be missing Amy Caulfield. She's in Paris right now with her family, I believe. She's been posting a bunch of that. Took her kids and everything out to Paris. And she's just like taking it all in. And then I think she's going somewhere else after that. So Amy Caulfield won't be here this Monday. We missed her last Monday because we were off for the holiday. And then next Monday, Amy Caulfield will be back to, but she'll be back after that. One minute. Good to hear you're doing great, Mr. Johnson. Amy's pictures are making me so jealous. Yes, true. She takes great photos too. What a beautiful family, all of them. They seem like such nice people. All right, we're coming back. Here they go.
In your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
Stay connected and stay productive with Rapid Radios. Business owners trust Rapid Radios for instant, reliable team communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected's never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com.
Tackling sensitive subjects with unparalleled irreverence.
Starting, but we have a lot of fun ahead of us. Big thanks to John Deere Joey for the gifted sub over on the Secret Show side of things. Thanks for that. That was already gobbled up this weekend. You can get in on the action at thenewsjunkie.com as always. We're going to get to the next episode in just a bit here on the show. Then we got some announcements, a bunch of huge stories that we haven't even hit on just yet. And I saw that there's a volcano erupting out there, which is kind of crazy.
Ooh.
Mount Etna is currently erupting. I'll never understand these people who make it like a tourist thing to go look into a volcano. I trust that the volcano is going to volcano. I don't want to go, whoa, look at that. It's pretty crazy. They're all up there, all these tourists, as this volcano starts erupting, as volcanoes are wont to do. And then everybody starts panicking and start hauling ass out of there. All these tourists, as the ash fumes up into the air, plumes up, if you will, into the air, and they try to figure out what to do. It's pretty crazy to see. It's massive, this thing. Just unleashing nature on everybody around. But this is why you don't go up and look real close like into a volcano.
And not good for your lungs, I imagine.
Oof, no. All this stuff that's coming out of there, that whole plume, run.
That's
don't go there to begin with.
When you flush the toilet without putting the lid back. Yeah,
that's the plume action that happens there. All right, real quick, somebody over on YouTube Kevin saying, wonder what Sean looks like without a hat on. You should have seen my post this weekend. I posted.
Oh, I did.
It's bad. It is bad, my friend.
There's a lot more of a... You have curlier hair than I thought.
I do, and it's embarrassing.
I like it.
If my hair grows out longer than about this, Sabrina, longer than about 3 inches, if my hair grows any longer than that, right at the end, it just starts to curl and it turns into like
we just gotta get some good cream to that, like curly cream.
I look like a little Hasidic boy or something. It's really got a lot of curl to it. And after I was getting ready on Saturday,
I thought it was a picture of Modest Yahoo. Honestly, I was very confused.
I walked out of the bathroom.
But there's no ball print on his hat
with my hair like that, and Courtney goes, "What the hell?"
Get in the bedroom now, babe.
I said, "Should I wear a hat or not a hat?" And I didn't even get the sentence out of my mouth. And she's like, "Rat." So I need a haircut so bad. I didn't get it done this weekend, but. Check that out. I don't know. I think the story came down on Instagram because it only lasts for so long, but at the News Junkie on Twitter. All right, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV. You can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Yo, they don't know that GOD's about to BRB. And you're like, oh.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey.
True.
Smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don, thatmortgageguydawn.com. That's his website. So easy to find, so easy to navigate through, chock full of information for you. And when it comes to big decisions like refinancing or buying your first dream home, debt consolidation, reverse mortgages, expanding that business, work with someone you can trust. Thatmortgageguydawn.com. One more time, Sean.
True.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguydawn.com.
Can you believe it was a mere 129 years ago, my friends?
Wow. That's a long time. Marconi. Oh, the invention of radio.
Filed a patent for the radio. I'm like, we can't use that.
Yeah, what's censored out?
I think it was SE, like something with an S
word.
Oh.
That was a listener made that for us like a year or so ago.
Wow.
So thank you so much for that.
All right, great job.
I went with the Gaga one. Rumor has it his first transmission was a morning show, Marconi and the Gooch.
Nice.
In the
horse, morning.
A buggy, and free money Mondays. 39, my readers aren't on, the wife of this dude right here, Jimmy?
Jimi Hendrix? No.
Nickname is Jimmy. James Brown is right. And his wife, Adrian, claim diplomatic. Soul.
Hey, it transfers.
And didn't have to pay a lick of those fines.
Nice.
Someone who's going to have to pay the fines at the golden gates of heaven.
Who doesn't say it that way?
Loretta Swit. 2 Emmy Awards, and she played Major Margaret Houlihan.
Hot lips.
Hot lips, and now they're dead lips because she has passed away at 87 years old. She was from MASH.
I never watched it. Never seen an episode of MASH.
Not even 30 seconds I've seen of MASH.
The most miserable television show theme song in the history of television show theme songs.
It gets better, though.
Just miserable.
Could you imagine the finale that everyone else was watching that, just waiting for the theme song to be over? Mm-hmm. Rolling Stone magazine put MASH at number 25 of the best TV shows of all time.
Wow.
Thanks, Rolling Stone. And there are 6 more pages of all of her accomplishments. And I don't have time for it, so may she rest in peace.
Jesus.
But we do have some news.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Relevant. Netflix had their big event over the weekend and unveiled release dates for Squid Game, Happy Gilmore 2, and more. Teasers and trailers for these and other upcoming movies.
Do you guys think Happy Gilmore 2 is going to be good?
Sure.
You think? There's potential for
the
a
guy
failure.
gets his other hand bitten off.
No, that guy's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He died?
Yep. Yeah. Sorry about
Chubbs?
that. Sorry. Yeah.
From flubber?
No. Well, I mean, it wasn't that killed him, but he is dead. Yes.
I'm thinking of the wrong dude. Stranger Things also got a release date for. Who's excited for that?
I'm so far from Stranger Things.
I have to rewatch everything again.
I really liked the beginning of Stranger Things. They were sort of one of the they were one of the first series to embrace this like 80s vibes and the kids on the bikes and the
then they went
80s
90s.
music. And then they kept going. I watched it a bit, but I don't know. Maybe I'll watch the last season just to round it out. We'll see.
It's the 5th and final season of Stranger Things. Roll out in 3 parts, November 26th, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve. There's a teaser, but it's like very little new footage. They're kind of just recapping everything else.
I saw somebody go,
which is awesome.
Somebody said analyzing the new sneak teaser trailer from Stranger Things, and it was maybe 15 frames. And I go, I don't know.
Awesome.
I don't think it's not enough from this right here.
We have season 3 of Squid Game. That's going to hit Netflix on the 27th of this month. They played the first 6 minutes of Wednesday, season 2. New Happy Gilmore 2 trailer also dropped. That will be premiering on January 25th. We also have the trailers for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Ooh,
Bring
okay.
that sucker back.
I'm interested in that.
Starring Jacob Elordi. He's the really hot one from Euphoria and Saltburn.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Mia Goth, Oscar Isaac, who I believe is in The Last of Us 2, and Christopher Waltz, dropping in November. And Matt Damon and Ben Affleck did a promo for The Rip with Cookie Monster.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Where's that clip, John?
What, the content clip?
Yeah.
He was boycotting the show for a little while, but I think he's back. And
this is content.
Now that I'm in a position where I watch a lot of Sesame Street, it sounds even less like Cookie Monster.
Really?
Now, are you still PBSing Sesame Street?
No,
or
no.
now on Netflix?
No, I'm maxing.
Max it out.
Yeah, like I do with my looks.
That's as good as it gets?
This song is still going. I was just
Son
putting
of
up
a
that.
bitch.
What? Speaking of money, we didn't mention it, but that is the segue. We now have the details of Cardi B's divorce.
Yeah, I saw her over the weekend.
Damn.
Cardi B talks too much. Okay? Cardi B
too much.
Cardi B, she's sitting there, and I guess she got angry about this story with her divorce from Offset.
With all the deets of what they spend their money on?
Well, she started like a Twitter Live or a Twitter Spaces, whatever, that kind of thing, X Spaces. And she started one, and then she's like, I hope he dies a slow death. I hope he dies the slowest death you could ever imagine.
Oh.
And she just starts ranting. I'm like, damn, isn't this the dad of your kids? Isn't this like, okay.
She also mentioned in this live, apparently, that she pays all the bills for her and Offset's 3 children, which include, are you ready? Because this is something else. You know you're not as rich as Cardi B when the kids have their own driver on retainer for $10,000 a month.
Nice.
Culture's private school is $45,000 a year. Waves is $35,000 a year. Plus,
Jeez.
Culture and Wave get tutoring 4 times a week for $250 an hour. The tutor makes more than most of us. I don't know what Sean's hourly wage is.
I will tell you that it seems like they're actually focusing some of their money on making sure their kids are educated, so that seems good.
Yeah, because we have culture piano class, $300 an hour, 3 times a week. Gymnastics and boxing classes for Wave, but they don't know how much it costs. She pays her cousin $3,000 a week to babysit both the kiddos. Blossom's nanny, there's a first mention of Blossom, $500 each shift because she's only staying in the daytime, end quote. The kids have a personal chef.
Damn, 6 figures to babysit some kids ain't bad, though.
Kids have a personal chef, my guys.
Yeah, my kid has a personal chef.
Who's on the clock, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. People in my house don't have time to cook.
For real, could you imagine if when we were 10, 11, 12 years old, if we had a personal chef?
No, I just had a lock on my fridge because we ate too much.
But you were at that point in your life, you're just going to ask this personal skilled chef.
I'd like macaroni and cheese, please.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Chicken
What do you want today?
tendies, thank you.
Oh, Dino Nuggies again?
Yeah, but
Yeah, but make them 3D, thank you.
when you have enough money for your kids to have their own personal chef, they probably, these spoiled little dicks, want more than just pizza.
That's my band name.
They probably want, expensive sounding stuff.
Sure.
Maybe.
Like this. On the boob tube, we've got the 17th season premiere of America Ninja Warrior on NBC, 12th season premiere of Below Deck, 2nd season premiere of Quiz with Balls. Are the balls bigger this time, or are the questions
They're pretty
harder?
big balls.
All right, Owen Wilson will be on Kimmel, as well as Mariah the Scientist. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram, at Sabrina Ambra, and most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. Just out of curiosity, and we'll get to the news in a moment here, and I mean the news about the show. We got some stuff.
Oh, that one.
Some show related stuff to talk about, aka the title of the show and the lead of the show today. But are either of you guys watching the new season of The Rehearsal with Nathan Fielder?
I started it. I told you guys that I'm 4 episodes in, but I have to catch up.
Sealand, is Nathan Fielder even on your radar? Do you watch it?
He's on my radar, and I enjoy his work. But there's something in my household holding me back from watching it. My wife is anti-rehearsal.
Yeah.
She gave it a shot.
It was gonna be Miss Rachel for sure.
She just did not really. It wasn't for her.
Okay.
So
I love it, but I also love a good emotional vampire moment. Like the cringiest of the cringe.
I mean, there are some great things. We're now 3 or 4 episodes into season 2 of The Rehearsal with Nathan Fielder. And we just got through where he was reliving Sully Sullenberger's life. He wanted to relive his life from the beginning to the end, or, wherever he is now, because Sully Sullenberger was this great pilot that landed in the water, right? And so he read his book, and Sully Sullenberger is the greatest example of somebody who is not interesting enough to have a book. So he puts a book out, and then Nathan Fielder wants to relive it. So he becomes a baby. He builds this giant room, and he becomes a baby.
The boob.
It's so great.
The boob.
The visual is so funny. It's so funny.
Do you think Nathan Fielder will ever release like the expense report? The P&L for that show, because I would love to see the numbers.
When I was watching it, Sabrina, I said the same kind of thing to Courtney. I go, I love that HBO has given this man this much money, and this is what he's decided to do with it. I love. He
also fully confronted Paramount Plus.
Yes,
for taking out an episode. The budget is unreal, and so is his creativity.
Yeah, there's a lot in that. We'll talk about that maybe as more people end up watching the whole series, but it is a good time and a very interesting thing. Like me some Nathan Fielder. Okay, quick break. When we come back, we'll get into more that's going on in your world. We'll get into an attack in Colorado, this Ukraine-Russia stuff, which even if you're not following that is crazy interesting. And next, I want to talk about, with these news announcements that we're going to make here about the show, I also want to talk about the UFC real quick, because there's something very, very unhinged happening in the world of UFC. So that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Download the all-new iHeartRadio app. Make Real Radio 104.1 number 1 on your presets, and you could win free stuff at upcoming events.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Emergency crews have moved that accident off to the shoulder now on I-4 eastbound before Saxon Boulevard. Keep an eye out for road rangers clearing up an earlier accident on Florida's Turnpike northbound before Hancock Road. There's an accident reported on Aloma Avenue before Severin Boulevard. 760.
Season 1 was where he built that whole bar, right? Didn't he build an entire bar to practice, telling his trivia team?
Yeah. That comes back into play.
There's only one destination that has everything you need
keep that
to
in
get
mind.
started. All under one.
I mean, I liked it. I don't know if I ever even finished season 1, but
I find this to be better than season 1 personally.
Outdoor summer night. For a night of non-stop laughs, Saturday, June 14th at the Mount Durham Music Hall, starring Orlando.
Okay. News coming up. Got some news, got some things. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. And MMA stuff. Because this is where you come for that MMA news, especially when some dude's totally melting down and he thinks his family has died and been replaced with imposters. CTE MMA, baby. Anybody watching Sirens?
Growing up.
Sirens, I don't know. Courtney might have watched that, or might be watching that. Crazy Drunk Cat Lady says, hang in there for White Lotus 3 because it pays off. Just finished it yesterday. True. It is totally a slow roll, but I agree. I think it does, like, at the end, you'll be happy that you watched it, I think. Sirens is awesome. Sirens a ladies show. For some reason in my head, it's like female targeted. Big female demo. Booty Sweat says, oh, the BJ Penn story. Man, is this commentary on what happens if you get just punched in the head in MMA that many times? It's almost comical to me how much attention has been focused on the NFL in particular and all these guys' repeated head injuries, which is obviously not good for you, but so little focus has been paid to MMA where it's obviously worse. Boxing and MMA. You cannot convince me otherwise. This is one of the worst things you could do. And I was into boxing for years and years and years. I love boxing. I'm down with it. But the fact is, you are not supposed to get rung like that. Your skull, everything around it, your brain is not supposed to rock like that into your skull. It's bad. MMA has less CTE than football and boxing, says Arnott. Bullshit. 0% chance. 0% chance that that's true. No shot. MMA is repeated hits to the head with about this much foam or protection on very thin gloves. It's repeated hits over and over. It's getting knocked out over and over and over. More so than the average position on a football team. It's as if every person is in the most high-risk CTE position on the field. It's obviously way worse. All Day Hucker says, Sean reminds me of the old Glenn Beck show on Fox where he moves around ranting this much. I got a bit coming up where I'm going to boil a frog live on the show. Take your hat off, Sean, says the Step-a-P. Go look at Twitter. The photo's still up. Link it. Somebody link it. Link it in chat. At the News Junkie. Link the tweet. Take it all in. I was in my boxers. 2 minutes. He's right, hands break in MMA with smaller gloves. It's just obviously worse. It's just obviously worse. Boxing is too. Your head is not supposed to be hit like that. We have not evolved to take repeated head injuries like this. And it is an injury when your brain is bruising up against the side of your skull. Every time you get knocked out, every time you get faded in a fight, all of that is doing damage. 2 minutes. Sean, were you Glass Joe? I was the guy. I was as good as it gets, baby. As good as it gets. Sammy Scam says, yes, he was. I can't picture Sean violent, and I don't know why. I'm not a violent person, but I have it in me. Like, I would defend my family and my loved ones and kill somebody like that. Like, would never think about it again. 1 minute. That was a compliment, Sean, not an insult? I didn't take it as an insult. No, I didn't take it as an insult. You can't make MMA safe, so I guess it is what it is. True. Yeah, I'm not trying to stop adults from being able to do what they want to do. If adults want to punch each other in the head and people want to watch it, I'm never trying to stop that. But I'm also not going to pretend like you're not doing like unbelievable damage to your brain. Because you are. He was Little Mac? How dare you?
So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit CrushYard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Home of the world-famous Game of Magnets. This is the news.
The show, and I'd encourage you to do it. It's a good time. Once you watch live, you never... there's not a good rhyming thing for that.
Try.
Once you watch live on YouTube, you'll never go back to the... God. Yeah.
Once you go live, you won't feel like you died inside.
The problem is not a lot rhymes with radio or
next
broadcast.
Podcast.
Once you watch on YouTube and not the radio, you'll never go back to the fadio.
We will workshop that.
It needs a little bit of work, but we'll get to some news here for you about the show in just a second. And I was talking on Skull Mike during the break with the lovely folks who hang out and watch each day on YouTube.
Once you watch the stream, your life will be a dream.
Woo! Yeah.
That's why you play music.
Let's make a sticker for that. There you go. Once you watch the stream, your life will be a dream. YouTube.com/thenewsjunkie. Subscribe and watch over there. And it's a good time. I think you'll like it. But I was talking about MMA and how it's kind of weird in the end that people look at MMA and they go, yeah, well, I mean, this is not as bad for you as NFL. So much talk about CTE in the NFL. When I feel like the NFL is maybe a third as bad for you as MMA. I think MMA, like, repeatedly getting punched in the skull, there's nothing that could do more damage to you. There's nothing.
A solid elbow or a knee.
Yeah, it's just strikes. It's actually worse than boxing because you're right. You're getting strikes from elbows and the gloves are so thin that you're getting hit with over and over and over. And they'll let somebody punch another person in the skull unabated like 4 or 5 times before they call off a fight. It's crazy. It's crazy. You don't believe me? Look at Muhammad Ali in his final days. And that wasn't even MMA. That was just boxing. That's why it sends you sideways. It scrambles your brain a little bit.
Sting like a butterfly.
It's not a good time, okay? It's not a good time.
Didn't he have Parkinson's?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, but who's to say that didn't come from boxing?
I'm not saying it did or didn't.
Whoa.
No, I'm not challenging you on it, but I am saying that I wouldn't be surprised if many...
Gonna give you Parkinson's.
Many a medical... Good luck trying. Many a medical malady comes from getting your head whacked and your brain hitting your skull. Like the dumbest person on planet Earth could probably go, I don't think this is very smart. The dumbest person that you run into on a daily basis would probably go, me no think smart to get punched head. And all right, yeah, you know what? You're probably onto something. I bring this up because somebody who is a superstar in the MMA world, the UFC world, was a guy named BJ Penn. BJ Penn is a name I remember. He's still alive, but he's having some trouble. BJ Penn was arrested for the third time in 6 days. Not great. Not the good.
In the jail corner, weighing in at 250
normal
pounds?
amount. No, not that much, I don't think. Maybe, though. BJ Penn arrested for third time in 6 days. Judge denies his restraining order request. The craziest thing is what's going on with this guy. He was arrested for failing to appear in court, which is a violation of his previous bail agreement where he was taken into custody for not one, but 2 separate occasions. You see, it turns out BJ Penn of UFC fame currently thinks his whole family has been killed and replaced with imposters.
Okay. Tell
That's his
me
going
more.
theory. That's the going theory that he has right now.
Very judgy gal off the bat, but that sounds insane.
It is a little crazy. It's quite crazy. And I guess he's got some problems going on. This is KHON. Let's see if they'll bring this up. UFC fighter BJ Penn asked court to recall arrest warrants. Let's go into their story and see what the details are.
Warrants issued for his arrest. The warrants followed his failure to appear in court earlier this week on separate charges of abuse of a family member. He filed paperwork today saying he missed court because he was sick with COVID and asked for the warrants to be recalled.
2025, my God.
Penn was arrested twice over a 2-day period earlier this week. Court documents in a TRO filed by his mother say he was experiencing mental issues and believes his family members have been replaced with imposters.
Yeah, he literally believes right now, like the Avril Lavigne theory is happening to him. His own family has been murdered and replaced with imposters.
Okay.
And
that screams medication.
Yeah, it screams something's wrong. Something's wrong. But our system, as I've said so many times, with these kind of things is broken because people will look at this and go, yes, it's a big issue. Yes, the MMA guy who got punched in the head 1,000,000 times, he's got some problems and he needs some help. But we got to wait. We got to wait until like something really, really drastic happens, and then we can forcibly institute you.
Well, from a personal experience, don't wait on that.
It's not a good idea.
It screams he's in a full-blown manic episode. It's the God complex, and now he has platform to it.
Scary.
So, where did he say this? Like, did he talk about this on a microphone, or he's tweeting it out?
I don't know if he's posting about this online. He very well may be, but
Because
he
if
was
he's
arrested.
posting online, he's getting, because of his notoriety,
fame.
He is getting the yes men that don't have profile pictures.
Like,
You know
like
what I'm saying?
like a feedback loop. Some people like encouraging him to spiral further, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know if he said it or if it was a family member, because in a filing it says, I believe my son, so this is his mother, or father maybe, is suffering from this Capgras delusional syndrome. He believes I'm an imposter. This person told police when filing for a restraining order. He believes I'm an imposter who has killed his family to gain control of the family assets.
That's crazy, man. Capgras, CAPGRAS, Cleveland Clinic says this. Capgras syndrome is a type of delusional misidentification syndrome. You believe a family member or a close friend is an imposter.
Oh, that is
Damn.
exactly it.
She has
Weird.
She's got a knack for diagnosing.
Because she Googled.
Maybe, yeah. Certain neurological conditions or mental health conditions increase the risk of Capgras syndrome.
And does this man have access to a weapon?
I don't know.
I mean, his
I know.
body is one. I imagine
Yeah.
he could hurt someone severely. Bless you.
I know that right now, he is absolutely in a state where he needs some help, but they find themselves in every state in the nation. They find themselves in this paralysis where you go, well, technically he hasn't done this or hasn't done that. And we sit back and we don't. And I know it leads people sometimes to saying like, well, what should we do? Dart people? Legit. Yes. Yeah. When there are people who are in the midst of a mental crisis like this, where it's clear that helping them is the moral thing to do, I think we have to rethink the whole system. And his family must be so frustrated right now.
Oh, and scared, I imagine.
Hell yeah. They don't know what he's going to do with it. Think about it from that perspective. This guy who's very strong, as you guys pointed out, he's BJ Penn. He's an MMA fighter, UFC fighter. He's a strong guy. He thinks that his family is not really his family, but they've been replaced with imposters. Who knows what he would do to the imposters?
Right.
That's the problem right there.
A massive problem. Now, consider if they were to, like in the state of Florida, you can Baker Act somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there is like the immediate go-to of that is drug them into sedation. And that could end up being extremely traumatic.
Sure.
For somebody. Not necessarily works out for the better. I would love to see in this pipe dream of mine the system in which they can analyze what's going on and then properly medicate. And of course, some therapy and talking to involved. But just to like throw all the pills down the throat or the dart to the neck, that doesn't mean that in a year, 6 months, 5 years from now, that this is not all going to loop back to something even worse.
No, of course not. But what I think is we do too many things. This is like an overarching theory of mine. We do too many things in the name of empathy that are the opposite of empathy. We do this, in my estimation, with a lot of homeless issues, and we act like we're just, we're being as emotionally available to these people, and we're trying to handle things in the most empathetic way. And then what we do is just the outcome makes it so it's so much worse. It's not actually empathetic at all. And with people who are like this BJ Penn guy, I say, look, there are things that law enforcement has at their disposal. Sometimes it's ketamine, sometimes it's other things that will calm a person down. I think a lot of times you could get people who are experts on this, who hopefully wouldn't be vested in any way that they would be giving some kind of bad or dangerous advice. And you got to bring these people to a place where they're actually better off. We don't have asylums anymore, thanks to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. We don't have a place to put all these mentally ill people who are roaming around in our cities with us. We don't have a way to handle it. And then nobody really has the appetite, I don't think, to make big changes on this. I feel for the guy's family. I really do. That's crazy. That's very, very difficult to deal with. Until now, I hadn't even heard of this Capgras syndrome, but it's frightening.
I guess it's lucky that it's weird to say lucky because it's still a bad situation, but his mother was seeking a restraining order because she said that he's done intense psychological damage and not physical.
Yeah.
That's
to her?
good. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And she probably has. I mean, they said in the story, it says, in the initial filing, his mom claimed that BJ Penn lashed out against her several times in recent weeks. He put glue and a lock on her door to prevent her from gaining entry into her bedroom. He stole her mail, which led to a fight, and that led to him being arrested. She said that BJ Penn blinded her with a bright flashlight to prevent her from calling the police after he saw her mail in the backseat of a vehicle being driven by one of her son's friends. When she attempted to get the mail, she says that he grabbed her arms and shoved her against the car.
That's more than just psychological abuse.
Yeah, which led to his mother screaming for help from her son, Reagan Penn. And I don't even know if he could even do anything. And you got to say, well, why are you bringing up CTE and why are you bringing up all this stuff related to the MMA fighting? Well, Capgras syndrome, if mom is right about this, other potential causes are traumatic brain injuries, right? Like it could be that this would have happened completely outside of the MMA world, but maybe not. Maybe punching each other in the head over and over and over and over is not really a good thing for your overall brain health. That would just be a guess of mine.
If it were a tax attorney that had this syndrome, maybe we could look at some different options, but the evidence is pretty damning.
Yeah, this guy has been hit many, many times, and now he's finding himself in a place where it looks like it's real tough to help him unless we make some big changes. And that's going to take some brave people. And trust me, with our elected officials, we don't have too many of them. We just don't. One dispatch on this real quick. Here is Popcorn Fart checking in.
Yoski Joe, quick check-in to just point out that BJ Penn thinks his family were all killed and replaced with clones or bots or droids or whatever he thinks happened. And we all agree that's friggin' crazy and the guy's off the deep end. Let's get him some help. Our president tweets almost the exact same thing just last night regarding former President Biden and that he was the whole time just a bot or a replacement or a droid or a clone or whatever. Even with, the prostate cancer, because you know how bots get prostate cancer so frequently. I don't know. Either way, and I've not heard anyone call for this person to be looked at on a mental scale.
Well, here's why.
I've heard plenty of people call for that, but
actually I have, yeah. But I mean, people who all the time are like, look, it's dementia with Trump. Here's the difference. You can agree or disagree. It doesn't matter to me. I think that if you look at both of these cases with Trump posting on Truth that Biden was replaced with a clone or whatever, which was like a retruth he did of somebody else's post, I don't think Trump believes that. I think he's trolling like he does with a lot of stuff. I don't think he's actually in the middle of a mental break where he thinks that the former president is not a real person who's been actually replaced with a drone. I think he does all this as like warfare against all these people and gets crazy people to believe the crazy things that I don't think he necessarily believes. But I think that BJ Penn, from the evidence that I could see, believes his family was killed and replaced by fake people. So that's what I think the difference is. I think that we see one side where I think the person actually believes it and it's really, really scary and sad, and the other side where it's dumb political stuff where somebody's trying to troll and get one over on somebody else. Maybe you disagree. Send a dispatch over to thenewsjunkie.com. All right, we got some news for you on a couple of fronts when we come back, all right? We're going to get into this. We'll see what people think of some things going on. We got to get to the Colorado attack that has a lot of people talking. We'll do that in jury duty, and we'll get to the Ukraine-Russia stuff over the weekend, which was so crazy if you didn't catch up with any of this. All of that coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
No, we don't want a stale-ass trivia question.
It is stale, and I'm going to get rid of it, and that's why I'm going to blow it right now so I can throw it away.
Hold on a second. Say that again.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Keep an eye out for emergency crews on the roadways, clearing up an accident on I-4 eastbound before Saxon Boulevard. There's some slowdowns over St. John's River Bridge there. There's a crash getting cleared up on Aloma Avenue near Semerin Boulevard, and traffic slowing down on Florida's Turnpike northbound between Oakland Exchange and Hancock Road. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
One thing you got to look out for as a homeowner is the big expensive stuff that could be breaking around your house. And then you get freaked out, and maybe you don't have enough in the way of finances ready for an emergency when it comes to your air conditioner. But don't worry. There's a great company out there that's going to guide you through the process. They can get financing for basically anybody out there, and you'd be surprised. You may be paying less a month than the difference in your power bill. When you get a new AC, like one of these Carrier units, they're really efficient. And I've heard like 80% plus of your power bill comes from your air conditioner. If that thing's 20 years old, it is not ideal. It is really costing you a lot more than it should. So sometimes the financing to get you a new Carrier unit from Mills Air can just fill that gap, and you got a brand new AC. They will help you out. Their techs are the best of the best. They can work on any kind of air conditioning you may have, and they're a Carrier factory authorized dealer. They can get you really big rebates on a new Carrier unit. On top of that financing, they are the best over at Mills Air. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Here's the phone number, 407-277-1159. It's been hot. If your AC is not working, call that number, 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
The city.
Las Vegas.
Vegas, make some noise!
The event.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
Live. Welcome. One stage.
2 nights. The biggest stars in music return.
Go, Mike. It's just go, my God.
Hang on. Let me refresh chat. What are we thinking, folks? News coming for you in just a moment. Will Sean's big news rock our minds and blow our worlds? 8 Ball says most likely. Mr. Predicto, what will they think of the news?
That is a likely outcome.
Oh shoot, I asked it wrong. Will they like the news?
Definitely not.
Oh boy. That ain't great. That is not a good sign. People called Mitt Romney an effing Nazi? Yeah, but I think that was more rare back then. Now everybody just calls everybody that. They're on politics again, Sean? Yeah, politics leads to brain-broken territory for a lot of people. Like, I think it's a fair comparison. Honestly, I think the Dispatch is a fair comparison to be like, why is it that we think this when the MMA fighter says it, but we don't care about it when Trump says it? I just don't legitimately believe. I think it's concern trolling, right? That's my honest take. I think it's this really, really annoying concern trolling that some people do where they're like, actually, we're worried about him. Actually, this is a mental break. I don't think anybody believes that Trump thinks Biden was replaced with a clone. I think that they know he's trolling. Is it unpresidential? Yeah, but like I don't care that much. The suspense of it all. Is it Foster's time yet? Yes, of course it is. Get to it. Oh shoot. YouTube, did I leave that poll up? Is that poll still up on YouTube? Also, mods. When there's a poll, can you guys take it down or no? Uh-oh. Gotta go.
The scene stories from Sir Elton himself.
It became my first ever hit.
From the anthems that made history to Elton's own picks, all commercial free, including his new song with Brandi Carlile, the soundtrack of a legend. Search Elton John Radio on your iHeart app to listen now.
Mainlining today's top stories. You're listening to the News Junkie, Sean Wass.
Get comfortable. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right around here. We're always just looking for the next fun thing to do and talk about. And we're happy you are with us along for the ride. Learn more about this show. Learn more about all things the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, news time. Couple of things for you folks who are fans of the show. The first one is we have got a brand new design drop for you. And hot merch, fresh, spicy, hot merch. People that asked for some different stuff this year, they asked for like some stuff that's a little more simple, stuff that they could wear to work, stuff that they could, be a little less controversial. So we've changed. We've gone down a different path for the next, maybe one more design, and then we'll probably switch back to some other different things. All the time we're moving around with this, but the new design.
You couldn't get Charlie to draw up a bunch of planes crashing everywhere.
You wouldn't do it.
He's like, I've done this 7 years in a row, Sean. Something else. Wait.
He shut it down. I can't do that anymore. He said. Beach shirt is the latest design drop. It's nice. It's simple. And people have been asking for some summer stuff like tank tops. Ladies and gents, tank tops are available. These are all very limited and will only last probably the next couple of days. The beach shirt is the latest design drop. Of course, it comes with a sticker and a magnet like everything else. The magnet, love it. Also, beachy vibes. getting it on with the beachy vibes.
I'm going to bang that magnet.
I like it. I think it looks good. I like the colors. I like the palm tree action. It's all available for you if you go to thenewsjunkie.com. You'll see the latest design drop up there and ready for you. And grab it. Support the show. It says the 3 best friends you never knew you had. And I think this is perfect. For those of you who are looking for a summer shirt that is not going to make people freak out when they see you, it'll be a pleasant little thing for you to wear and support the show that comes with a magnet to play a game of magnets and a sticker as well. All of it's ready for you while supplies last. That is at thenewsjunkie.com. Ryan on YouTube says, damn, still know the News Junkie thong. Nope. Not hasn't
yet.
happened. Not
yet. I'm working on something.
No, still hasn't happened. The
tomatoes throwing people on
the tomatoes throwing people idea is still out there on the burner, but for now, we got this beach
so
design.
well done.
These are all on Next Level shirts, and what I mean by that is they're very high quality. It's a brand called Next Level. We don't cheap out on this. You're going to love them. You're going to appreciate them. The women's tank tops are Razorbacks. The guys' tank tops, I've heard from not 1, not 2, but I think 3 or 4 women who have messaged me and said, I love the men's tank tops to sleep in. They're the most comfortable thing in the world.
They're very comfortable, especially with the weather these days. It allows you to have something on your body, but not sweat it out completely.
Not too much. Yeah, I guess so. I never even thought about that. But yeah, go get them while you can. Beach shirt is the new design, and it is up there on the website at thenewsjunkie.com while supplies last.
My mom already got hers. She said it's very soft, and she loves the quality of it.
Oh, Mama Lane.
She's the one, huh? She's the first one? Yeah, Mama Lane is the best. Please tell her not to buy one. Please tell her if she has any interest whatsoever.
She probably already did it.
When's the last time that you gave her one of those funny codes?
Oh, I got to make one.
Doesn't do it anymore.
Just be like, Jackson loves drugs, 1, 2, 3.
Every time
I can't use that one now.
And she had to type it in on the website to get the free shirt. And like, tick, 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 tick. Oh, hurts her feelings every time.
Had
but
bad
go get
words
those.
in them.
Most of them did. Yeah, most of them did. You'll see everything you need to know, including if you're a Secret Show subscriber, your promo code is up there. Go look at thenewsjunkie.com. It should all be right there in front of you. While supplies last, support the show. Get the design. All right, another thing here. We've had a lot of people, and when I say a lot of people, I mean a significant amount of people who have been yelling at us for not doing a single live show in 2025 so far, I don't think.
We haven't done one.
Did not say we haven't tried.
Yeah.
There were like 2 or 3 things that were up there.
Yeah. There were a lot of things that were turned down, too, because I was like, sometimes the people go, well, we're about to sell this to this, and that doesn't make sense. This is going to be bad. No, shut it down. I don't just want to do a million little tiddlywink live shows. I think that if we do good ones, then I think it ends up being more fun, and I like that. So we haven't done one in a while. Has it been a year?
More. But it will be next month because we did the live show in Mount Dora.
Yeah, we did a show was that for the 4th? I think it was for the 4th.
Yeah,
right?
we did that, but we also did the big bike drive.
The bike drive, yeah.
We did a bake sale, guys.
Yes, but that wasn't...
We raised a lot of money.
Nobody showed up. We forgot to tell them we're doing baked goods.
The bike drive is different, C-Lane, because we do that event and people just stroll through for the most part and drop off their donated bikes and save Christmas for little kids and then move on. They don't hang out like they do at the live shows, which is a fun time. The people they're complaining right now. They're like, and you only did one in 2024.
Okay,
no
whatever,
live show
guys.
Since 2023. No, we did one. We did one last year. But we have a live show coming up. We are waiting I think we have a meeting tomorrow to talk about all the final details on this. But we do have a live show that is coming up within the next month or so, which should be fun. For those of you begging for that, we'll be out there on the road. What we got to do, and I don't think we'll have it ready for this, but as I'm trying to finish up this latest round of updates on my studio, I want to get like a really great mobile video setup so we can have super high quality stuff when we are on the move and doing these shows. But yeah, just make sure that in the next month or so you're paying attention because we will have a live show that's coming up. The other thing worth mentioning, giving you an update on, is we mentioned that there was going to be a Halloween roast that we were going to do this year, and then we haven't talked about it in months. And one might think that we'd be promoting this stuff, that we'd be talking about it. But we had a venue. We were locked in with the venue pretty much. We were just getting ready to finalize the contract with said venue. And like a lot of stuff isn't working out. All of this is much more annoying and complicating than when you would ever think. The stuff that they will let us do or won't let us do. The amount of people that they will let us have or won't let us have. The way that it will look on video or won't look on video. All of these things, there's like so much stuff that lines up. And we have had so many conversations with venues and been working on this for months and months and months and months. And it has been an absolute catastrophe.
Just when we try to get things done ahead of time.
Oh my God, we were so ahead. We were like, what did we announced?
You know how many PDFs I have? How many CCs and BCCs?
I think literally 10 months before it was supposed to happen, we announced that we were going to do this Halloween roast, or like way before. And for a while, it was looking like we were going to have to cancel it. But I think that we've locked in. We'll talk about this tomorrow too in our meeting. I think that we've locked in on a venue, and we're going to do something much more intimate, much
naked,
smaller. We're going to do it instead of doing all of these things where we do a live show and it's like 1,100 people or something. It's time to go in the other direction, baby. Just for the mega fans, just for the people who really, really, really love this show. For those of you, no matter where you're listening today, who have been big fans and want to see something done absolutely wild and over the top. And so we have a much more intimate venue that I think is going to be awesome. And we have to talk about this tomorrow. We'll lock in our date. I think we've got it all set up.
It's not under Sean's stairs. So that's a guess on the chat. No,
that ain't it.
I just built the couch for that.
No, it's not here at my house, no matter what you are told. That ain't happening. But it is going to be a much, much more exclusive event than we are used to doing. And I'll tell you, that means it is without a shadow of a doubt going to sell out, the Halloween roast, going to sell out faster than anything we've ever done. Like, it might last for a matter of minutes or something when
just
this
like
sucker goes up.
Just like you two during sex.
It's going to be something very, very, very quickly that we get into and we sell out, I think. So there you go. Those are the things that you need to know. We do have everything almost locked in for a more intimate version of the Halloween roast. Only the biggest fans of the show are going to get into this. We do have a live show that is coming up very, very soon that you'll be able to get in on. And we have a merch drop right now available for you while it lasts over on thenewsjunkie.com. Just click in, grab that, and support the show. So there you go, everybody. We got some stuff to get into in jury duty, including I want to talk about what happened in Colorado with this nut job Palestinian dude. Or like a Palestinian supporter who's actually in this country illegally from Egypt, I believe. But we'll talk about that craziness. We'll talk about a mystery that happened at a store when somebody was just wandering around a grocery store. And they said, has anybody else had this happen to them? I had not heard of this before, but it's pretty interesting. We'll talk about that. Ukraine and Russia and this Operation Spiderweb, a whole bunch is on the way on a very busy Monday. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s. Classic alternative this weekend on Real.
Advanced to the Super Regionals after defeating Mississippi State 5-2 last night to win the Tallahassee Regional. Scotty Scheffler joined Tiger Woods as the only repeat winners of the Memorial Tournament. He finished a commanding 10 under par for the tourney. Ben Griffin finished second. I'm Seth Everett.
At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at thrivent.com.
Going to nursing school can change your life, but that doesn't mean it's easy. You have commitments, family, a job. At Galen College of Nursing, we understand that, which is why we provide one-to-one tutoring support and assigned academic advisors who will work with you to keep you on track from day one. You can change the course of your life and the lives of people counting on you. Because we believe the better we care for nursing students now, the brighter the future of nursing.
Excellent question, honestly, to ask. Don't forget that. We'll make sure we ask that tomorrow. Skull Mike! Skull Mike Squad. Folks, make sure you're supporting the show. Get your beach shirt, t-shirts, and tanks available at thenewsjunkie.com while they last. Snag those. Landscape says just ordered the blue shirt. I love the men's blue shirt, the Cancun color. Dig it. Dig it. Buzz says YouTube or Sean are pushing Tim Pool ads. I don't know what you're talking about. Sean, I'm sorry the Halloween event didn't work out. I'm sad, but not really giving you shit, just all in fun. We are going to be doing the Halloween event. If I wasn't clear about that, we are. It's just going to be at a much smaller, more intimate venue, which I don't want to say too much about it now, but I'm way, way, way more excited about doing it at this venue and about doing it this way for a limited amount of people. It's going to be about, instead of 1,100 and some odd tickets to sell, it's going to be about 120 people tops. Whole thing. Whole thing. 4 minutes. Only 120 total seats that will be at this place. Super intimate, awesome venue. And honestly, we're going to film it to make a special out of it. And I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. Every time I rejoin, his ads pop up. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. It's not me. We can fit 120 people in Sean's house. It's not here. It's at a very nice venue. Very nice venue. Lynette says, I'm sure I won't be able to afford that one. I think it'll be a steal of a deal, Lynette. Your venue isn't nice? We're not doing an event at my house. It ain't happening. Disney adults only? You been working out, Sean? Arms looking bigger? No, not enough. Not enough. But I'm going to probably a couple of nights this week get back into it, get my exercise going. Can we do Sabrina's suggestion of no clothes? No. But we're trying to see if this more intimate venue is going to allow us to have people in costumes. I hope it's the Ocoee VFW. You got it. That's it. Sean, does anybody get early special access to buy tickets? Yes, Secret Show subscribers are going to get the jump on this. So, I don't know. It'll be on Secret Shows and Discord first, in that order. But I don't know if it'll even last past that, honestly, because it's only 120 tickets. Don't forget, when you get your new shirt available for a limited time at thenewsjunkie.com, you get your hands on this magnet. Get yours now. Get it now, thenewsjunkie.com. Will it be recorded for others to watch? Bladder. We are indeed recording this event. There'll be a full video production. It'll be the first special that we're going to do so people can watch it on TV. Nice for my fridge. Damn it, Sean, I cannot log into your site to buy a shirt and I am subscribed. If you aren't able to get the promo code and you're a Secret Show subscriber, don't buy it yet. Wait and email me and I'll hook you up. Don't just go buy it though, because some people do that. Wait and I'll give you the promo code if you don't have it. But it should be right there on the site. You should be able to log in. If you're having issues, let me know. Okay, come on. Come on. We're coming back.
Reliable team communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected's never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
What's happening in courtrooms all around planet Earth, all the exciting stuff that you need to know. Big stuff, honestly. I didn't even think about this until just now. Big stuff this week in the court world. Honest to God, because we got the Diddy thing rolling along, and we got this Karen Reed thing where the defense is kind of taking over. And will she end up being found guilty the second time around, or will she be found not guilty again? And then, maybe I don't even know if they would try her. Well, if she's found not guilty, then that's that. But last time, I think it was a hung jury. Yeah. And so that's why they did the whole retrial.
Was it hung jury or mistrial?
Same thing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They just didn't walk in.
Mistrial can be other things. Like you can declare a mistrial for tampering, but a hung jury falls under that.
Yeah, I guess it's like mistrial by lack of verdict consensus or something.
But when it comes to like tampering, that means we're not going back for a second trial, like what happened with Alec Baldwin.
Well, yeah, that would be like, hey, there was a adjudication here where the jury said either guilty or not guilty, and then because something went wrong, we're going to revisit this because we think justice wasn't served. In this case, they just couldn't agree on it. The city was very, very divided on Karen Reed. Second time around, I don't know what's going to happen here. It'll be very interesting. I think she might be toast. I think she might find a jury that's willing to say, hey, I think Karen Reed, I think she herself was onto this. When you watch the docuseries about her, when she goes, I started to wonder, did I just get too drunk? Did I run over John? Did I hit him with my car and leave him in the snow? And did he die in the snow that day?
Are we diving into Karen Reed? Because I just heard a crazy conspiracy theory.
What's the conspiracy?
That it was a swingers party.
Oh, at this house?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that, why didn't Karen Reed say anything about it?
Mm-hmm.
Did the judge say it's not relevant? Or is it not something that she didn't want out there?
Yeah. The problem is they had to have an alternative theory,
Think about
right?
the voicemails she sent.
Yeah, because she when she got home after this guy died, she was so drunk that she just insulted him on like a whole bunch of voicemails. You're a monster. You're a terrible person. You're this, you're that.
But the voicemails don't scream, hey, I just hit you with my car and killed you.
I think she was blacked out drunk. I don't even think she realized that she did it, but she still did it. That's my take on the case. I think it's pretty cut and dry that she got drunk and plowed into him with her car, left him in the snow. he died. And then all the rest is an effort to go, well, if it wasn't this obvious thing that is Karen Reed, who did it? We got to have other suspects. And, you know, what is it? Is it a good old boys thing? Like, what's the froggy guy? Turtle man? Turtle boy?
Turtle guy.
Turtle boy in that case. Yeah, there's been a lot of different theories out there, but I think she might be stuck this time around. We shall see.
As far as Diddy, I think there's like so many headlines per day about this that I need a Cliff's Notes.
I know.
Of what goes on.
Yeah, that's why I'm just trying to like make sure we talk about it each day and going, all right, let's all discuss this, see what the latest is that we need to know. Okay, and then move on. So when the verdict comes down, people will know what has happened so far, at least.
Yeah.
But that's all happening, all in real time. And like everything else, it'll be featured on the show when we get that verdict. Right now, let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only, Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO. 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. You need somebody who is experienced in going up against the insurance companies, something you should not feel bad as a human being for doing. It is simply the smart thing to do. And I expect that you think that you deserve the attention of an attorney that is going to be on par with what Moses DeWitt is going to give you. So I'm happy to refer people to him. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or justcallmo.com. Wayne emails the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Wayne says, hey, Sean, just wanted to pass this along. This is an interesting documentary series. You are too young to remember it, but these Tylenol murders gripped the attention of the nation big time. Just a heads up. If you have any interest, my screen name is this. Big fan, love the show, says Wayne. And it says, Cold Case, the Tylenol murders. I've seen this. I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen this. As I recall, Celine, look up Tylenol murders, just so I don't butcher this. As I recall, there was one case, I think, of somebody putting some kind of poison in a Tylenol thing.
Yeah, cyanide.
And then I think a lot of the other stuff was just fear that another person was going to do it, or were there multiple poisonings? I forgot. It was so long ago.
Chicago Tylenol murders, series of poisoning deaths resulted from drug tampering in the Chicago metro area. Victims consumed Tylenol-branded acetaminophen capsules that had been laced with potassium cyanide. 7 people died in the original poisonings. There were several more deaths in subsequent copycat crimes.
Yeah, that happens a lot, unfortunately. So somebody says, well, this is a clever way to do this. Let's also do it. And for so long, people now we take for granted that we get a thing of Tylenol and it has a seal on top of it, maybe even more than one seal, and it has a lock. And in some cases, it's like secured where you can't like just get access to it. All of those things are sort of new because people got scared in the wake of these attacks, the Tylenol murders. So check that out if you're interested. Let's go over to this attack that happened in Colorado because this was wild. This was in Colorado and Boulder. I saw that there was some sort of attack that had happened on these Israeli protesters who seemed to be protesting for the release of the hostages. And I guess they said that they've been doing this since October 7th. So these people go out there, as far as I know, from just reading some of the stories about this, they go out there and they say, we want the hostages to be released by Hamas. And as they were doing this, there was a man named Mohammed Soleiman, 45 years old, in this country illegally from Egypt, and I guess was denied asylum. And this guy walked up to them at this peaceful event that they were doing, demanding the release of these hostages, and he started lighting people on fire. He started lighting these people on fire, a couple of older people, a couple of younger people, lighting them on fire and attacking them in this area called Pearl Street in Boulder, Colorado. This is the dude here who was running around screaming things and screaming Free Palestine and like, you guys are murderers, and 0% surprise. This is 2 in 2 weeks if you're keeping track of these people who are like rabid Palestine, Gaza supporter types who are attacking people. And in so many of these cases, like the case where somebody shot the 2 Jews who just happened to be in Washington, D.C. outside of this event, I don't think that this is rapid mental decline and some unhinged person just targeting randos. I think this is sort of the inevitable. If you have an entire movement that is based on at least some portion of propaganda about horrific things, like this story about how they said Israel attacked one of the aid releases over the weekend, and everybody I saw is CNN, disgusting, just absolutely despicable behavior by a lot of these news outlets. They ran uncritically with this Hamas propaganda that there was an attack on these people at this aid drop, and that 24 kids, children, and like women were murdered by the Israeli government. And they uncritically ran with this. Only at the bottom of all these articles that I saw, including the one on CNN, did they mention like, hey, there's no evidence for this. Hey, our overhead footage that we were watching didn't show any of this happening. It just appears to be more propaganda, blood libel type stuff. But what do you think the end result is going to be? If you keep pounding the desk, saying genocide, 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 genocide over and over and over, not only saying that, but the person who's one of the top contenders for, I believe, the mayoral job in New York City right now. I believe it's for the mayor. This guy who's polling in the top 3 right now, who the Democratic Socialists, the DSA in New York, came out in support of the guy who killed those 2 Jews in cold blood and said free Palestine. Like an entire political party that is ahead in the polls in the biggest city in our country. When these people say, like the DSA in Washington or New York in this case, like they said, they came out and said, by any means necessary. And they called for the release of the guy who killed these random people just because they were at this, Israeli event or whatever, at the Jewish History Museum or wherever they were at in Washington, D.C., where this happened. One of them wasn't even Jewish by faith, mostly just by heritage. Anyways, what do you expect the outcome is going to be when they justify these murders by any means necessary? They say it's disgusting. It's vile. One thing that even kind of rocked me was I watched one of the videos of this guy. Again, I'm going to keep it muted because there's a lot of cursing and stuff, and this guy's like screaming free Palestine. He attacked these people. They're dumping water on this poor woman in the corner of this video that has been lit on fire by this guy. One of them was an old woman. There's a bunch of people, like 4 different people that got set on fire by this nut job. And as this is going on, there's a grown-ass man who is saying, what did you expect was going to happen? What did you expect was going to... And was blaming the people that he burned.
So unhinged.
That guy, this fat lunatic, this fat bearded loser who was the entire time, you guys are responsible for this. Like, we can't be helped. This is what we do. You tell us genocide, 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 and this is what we do. 2 times in 2 weeks, we have to address this. We're so fine with finding like fascism everywhere or racism everywhere, but it becomes really uncomfortable when you say, look, some of these people are unhinged. We have a movement like of maybe 10% of the American public, especially a lot of young people, who find this to be okay, who find it to be an acceptable form of action. Like we must do something about this. The entire platform of Twitter and all their main broadcasters over on the platform support this kind of stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's a shame, but I can't say I'm surprised. And I won't be surprised next time it happens. Far too many people like this loser who are out there cheering this stuff on. I got to talk about the Disney World situation that Sabrina had mentioned earlier. We got to talk about what was happening with Russia and Ukraine, and the thing that happened at the grocery store. We got a lot to squeeze in. I don't even know if we're going to have time to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Plus more details on the Boulder stuff, too. I wanted to play one of the witnesses talking about what they saw and what they think has been happening. All of that coming up next on the News Junkie.
Make Real Radio 104.1 #1 on your presets on our all-new iHeartRadio app and get cool stuff at Real Radio events. Get the app for free in your app store.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Keep an eye out for emergency crews on the roadways, clearing up an accident on I-4 eastbound before Saxon Boulevard. There's some slowdowns over St. John's River Bridge there. Traffic's starting to slow down once you get off Florida's Turnpike's ramp to I-75 northbound. There's some slowdowns on I-47.
Let's go, Mike Squad. Hang tight. Somebody says, I'm okay with somebody saying how they feel, but at the point of setting people on fire, the problem is rhetoric. Rhetoric, right? The problem is, let's say January 5th or 4th. I remember doing a video about this, and I was like, there's going to be violence at the January 6th stuff. There's obviously going to be violence. People would say, why? Why would there be? Because you've told a portion of the American public, a non-insignificant portion of the American public, that democracy is being stolen from them. You've told these people that democracy is being ripped out from under them, and everything they love about their country is being torn away by thieves and liars. Justice will come about from really, really raging against that. And if you keep pounding the table about genocide, and look at things through the oppressors versus oppressed lens, inevitably you seem to arrive at this weirdo far left idea that the violence is not only okay, but it's necessary. And that is bad. Sean killed Obi? Not that I'm aware of. Junkie, is there a promo code to buy the shirt? Yeah, I told you earlier. If you can't log in on the newsjunkie.com with your account, with your Secret Shows account, do hit me up. But everybody else should be able to log in with their credentials if they're a Secret Show subscriber, and then you'll see right on the homepage where the promo code is. Sergeant Dave, same thing. Go to the newsjunkie.com, scroll down under featured, and you'll see promo code with the shirt designs. Click it, and you'll get your promo code. Three minutes. Tiger Webb says, at what point do you say violent opposition is acceptable? Or do you think violent opposition is never acceptable? Violent opposition can be acceptable, but almost everything that's happening with the activists in this world of the Palestinians in Gaza is, well, not almost everything, but a large portion of it is propaganda. A large portion of it is meant to incite people to do this exact thing and then literally cheering them on when they do it. So to me, I think that is bad in every imaginable way. I think always targeting somebody just because they're Jewish or because they disagree with you or they're at some protest in the United States of America, like if you were going to target Israeli politicians, you'd have at least a little more logic to what you're doing. You're not doing that. Right-wing Jew here. Sean has no idea what he's talking about. Israel is committing a genocide. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. You're also not a right-wing Jew, by the way. You're also definitely not a right-wing Jew. Alicia says, none of these people have emotional intelligence. No, it's usually first cause people, like a lot of young people, it's their first cause. So they hear about the Palestinians, the oppressed, and they hear about the Israelis, the oppressors, and they're told about this new like lens through which you can look at life, and it radicalizes people. And next thing you know, you're cheering on people murdering people. "90 seconds. Brandon says violent opposition is only acceptable by white male conservatives, says white male conservatives. You're being a dipshit. You're being fucking dumb. That's dumb. That's dumb. I literally said January 6th is a good example of the inevitability of this because of the language that people use. I literally use that as the exact example. Don't be dumb. Just say violence is bad. Just say these people are shitty. Just say it, unless you don't believe that. Otherwise, I think you believe it. You know what I mean?
Wherever weed killers are sold.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce changes your life and your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
No one's really sure what all C-Lane's buttons actually do. This is the news.
And meet some new people. One of the best ways to do that is just by watching the show, jumping into the chat room. It's a great way to meet some friends, some enemies, maybe? No. Everybody will be sweet over there to you, I think. Go check them out. TheNewsJunkie.com. When we're live, you'll see the links on YouTube and Twitch.
Wahoo.
More about King of the Hill here real quick, because I know you guys saw this. When we were talking about King of the Hill earlier, we mentioned how they're rebooting the show. And there's a lot of people like me. I'm worried about all these things that they're kind of bringing back. And are they going to ruin them? Or will it be great? Will it just be more of the content that I loved? And that includes like even the Stranger Things thing finally coming around, the final season of Stranger Things. Will they end this on a good note? The King of the Hill one is particularly interesting to me because it's been a long time since that show has been on. But it's not just the voice of Dale Gribble, I think, that died.
Big old dangle.
The other one was...
The thing I sent you, right?
Yeah.
What are the odds of that? We just talked about it.
I know, that's kind of weird. Damn, you sent this to me. I had this pulled up. Let me go back to my text messages. No, I got it here in the TMZ text message link. Okay. King of the Hill. King of the Hill voice actor shot to death in San Antonio...
Bobby.
During an argument with a neighbor, which crazy. What the hell is going on here? What are they fighting about? This says from San Antonio Police Department, Sigfredo Alvarez Sega was arrested and charged with murder. Bond has been set at $200,000. Actor Jonathan Joss, best known for his work in the animated series King of the Hill, has died after being shot by a neighbor in Texas.
It's so weird to say best known for King of the Hill, because I think they scanned through his IMDb page, and the thing that he did the most of was King of the Hill. He had 34 episodes. I know him as the Native American leader that owned the Wamapoke Casino in Parks and Recreation.
Oh, that's who he is.
That's who it is, yeah.
And I bet he's in a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, yeah, because
comedy style.
He's been a bunch of things in the Native American realm, like with such character names as Kicking Wolf, Raymond Wolfwaker, Raymond Firewalker, Young Raymond Firewalker, Richard Whitefeather. There's a bunch of very token roles he took as a young actor because he was Native American.
I wonder what they were fighting about. According to San Antonio Police Department, Josh got into a heated the guy from King of the Hill, got into a heated argument with his neighbor at a house on the city's south side, leading to a bloody confrontation. Police say the unidentified neighbor whipped out a gun and pumped several bullets into the actor before fleeing in a vehicle. Jesus, man. Officers responded to a call of a shooting in progress and received a description of the car. They captured the suspect about a block away from the residence. Paramedics raced to the scene, but they were too late to save this guy, who was one of the voices for King of the Hill.
They're saying he had a long, bitter history with the neighbor that was accused of pulling the trigger.
Yeah?
It says his home, this is from the neighbors that they were interviewing, his home burned down in February. When he returned to collect a victim's fire fund check, while there he found the skeleton of one of his dogs killed in the fire, and it sent him into a rage. He started yelling at anyone he saw in the area.
Whoa.
Oh.
Okay.
That led to a spat with the neighbor who lives 2 doors down, and shortly thereafter, the suspect drove over and shot him before fleeing.
Man, it's wild when these little neighborhood spats spiral that out of control, isn't it? It's so, I don't know. It's
weird.
sad. And yeah, I mean,
it reminds me of road rage, where it's just like snap moment. And you're going from not 0 to 60, but 0 to 120 and making a lifetime decision, essentially.
But I think it is kind of like road rage. I think it is. I mean, we call road rage.
I said it was like road rage in the sense of like I don't know if there's any thinking ahead of time. It's like, but whatever you just did in that snap of a moment, you might be in jail for the rest of your life or dead.
What I mean to say is we call it road rage and we kind of imply with the term that it only exists when we're driving around and we're in a car and another person's in a car. Maybe like anger management or something. Like just overall rage is a better thing. But people obviously have these anger issues, whether they're in their car or not in their car.
It's weird. It's the weird part about this, as I'm reading further through this second TMZ article, is that the dude was murdered by his neighbor. They said, he pumped multiple bullets into the guy and drove off. But the article is painting the victim as kind of crazy also.
Really? The person that... the King of the Hill guy, you mean?
Yes. The Native American actor who played John Redcorn in King of the Hill. And it says, like, when his house burned down, it was because he was trying to use his barbecue pit to heat the house, which he said he had to do because the city allegedly shut off his power when the home was deemed unsafe and uninhabitable.
Oh, no.
And neighbors also told TMZ the actor would do kooky stuff like bang pans on his roof in the middle of the night.
Can I tell you something? There may be something to every once in a while. Some of these voice actors for cartoons are a little crazy. Crazy. I don't remember his name. Help me out, one of you, on this.
Bob's Burgers.
Yes. What's that guy's name? The guy who was
Kevin
Jimmy
Kline.
Is it?
No.
Jimmy Pesto.
He was Jimmy Pesto in the Bob's Burgers series.
He was in Community, what was his other show?
I don't remember. I remember him from Bob's Burgers.
Maybe, or something like that.
He was a big voice actor. He was on this
about
very
Jay
prominent show. Jay Johnson. And all of a sudden people said, look who's at January 6th. And they're like, it's the guy from Bob's Burgers. And he ends up getting fired off the show, I guess. And he was one of the people that was like so involved in all of this. And I don't know. I think some of these voice actors are very particular types of people. They have a very particular personality. It's like, is it Yardley Smith? What's the woman who does Bart Simpson?
No, that's Nancy Cartwright.
Nancy Cartwright. Where she's big on Scientology, Nancy Cartwright is.
And Sabrina Carpenter's aunt.
Is she really?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all Scientologists are crazy, but maybe. And Nancy Cartwright, look at the videos of her surprising people with Bart Simpson voices. It's cringe.
It's a little cringe.
It's weird.
Like she finds some kid, wearing a Bart Simpson shirt, and she goes like, "Oh, I like your shirt, I caramba," and expects the kid to like lose it or something.
Yeah. And the kid's like, "I'm sorry, who are you? What's going on? I'm not quite as impressed as you thought I would be."
Jay Johnston, the dude from Bob's Burgers that was in January 6th, he played a role in Arrested Development where he was a cop and he was in a gay couple. And it was him and a black cop, and they said that when they had a surrogate, they were trying to have a baby. That was when Julia Louis-Dreyfus was on the show.
Okay.
And they said, we don't want to know which one of us is the father. We just mixed our samples together.
You're going to swirl?
Yeah.
Yes. Just the swirl.
We don't want to know.
I think there's some of these voice actor types who are very, very creative, very unique individuals. And in their craft, they do great things. But I think there are a small minority of them that are a bit crazy, little bit crazy. There's a person who was at a Sprouts. You guys ever been to a Sprouts?
Long time.
I feel like I ordered it on Uber Eats once.
It's a grocery store, but...
It's very expensive, is it not? Or no?
It is pretty expensive, and I've found in my history of Sprouts and a couple of these other little places that are like smaller grocery stores, they don't have a lot of stuff. Like, I don't know if it was toilet paper or something, but like we went to a Sprouts and it's a grocery store with all sorts of produce and whatnot. And they don't have things that you would expect them to have. Like you can't do a full grocery trip there. But this woman was at Sprouts this weekend and she says, has this ever happened to you? And her name is Sheila Harden. And she says a woman around her age randomly approached her at Sprouts and started complimenting her. And at first she's just like, okay, well, this is very nice. Thank you for the compliments. The lady was like, oh, I love your legs look fantastic. I love your leggings. And this woman is going around. And she goes, I wanted to try to figure out what was happening because as she's walking around the grocery store more, she's going from aisle to aisle in the Sprouts, she sees the same woman doing the same thing to all kinds of other women her age. And at first I thought, is this a woman who's like a swinger who's trying to recruit somebody else? Or like what?
Or does this woman have metas on?
Does she have what?
The meta glasses.
Oh, like trying to make a viral video?
Yeah.
I don't think so. What they said, Sabrina, was responsible for this was that this woman was into MLM, like multi-level marketing.
Oh, the schemes.
And the tactic is to like go up to somebody at the store and you pay them a compliment and you start talking to them and they start like a little back and forth. And then you like get them hooked on your MLM pitch.
Have you heard of Mary Kay?
Yeah, I've never seen like the hard sell in a grocery store.
Oh, that's networking at its finest, I'm sure.
I don't want that. I don't
From
don't
a stranger like that? No.
Yeah.
Why
It
not?
used to be that I would get invited to an event. That was like, oh, we're just having like a little networking event at like this bar. You know, we got a couple free drinks. Come in. We're having this like private. We're doing the private room thing. And then you get in there, and they're like, "We're selling vacations, guys." And I'm like, oh, come on.
You notice all of a sudden 2 to 3 of them seem to be teaming up. They're like, Josh, should we tell them about this opportunity? Well, Dave, we clear these are
ready for it.
These are our friends here, but. I don't know. Do you guys like making money? God, I know what's happening, guys.
I mean, we used to have a coworker that was into that once.
Did we?
I think.
What were they
so.
hawking? What were they selling?
Knives. I bet it's.
I think it was vacation packages.
Oh God.
Really? Yeah, this woman recounted the story of how a woman around her age randomly approached her at Sprouts and started complimenting her leggings. What started as a seemingly harmless comment quickly escalated into a deeper line of questioning about her personal style, her job, and other details that felt invasive. By the end of the conversation, Hardin said she was convinced the woman was running some kind of scam. She wanted to figure out what was happening here. She said this was going on with all the other women around her age at the Sprouts. The woman would go up to them, compliment them, and then try to like pitch them on something. They always start off with a compliment, and they go straight to asking you about your job. Super annoying to deal with. It happened to me at Target. They complimented me on my jeans, and then they were trying to recruit me. And that is so annoying.
One guy said it happened to me at Barnes & Noble, and I was so sad because I thought he wanted to be friends. Dude, you think you're just going to pick up random friends at Barnes & Noble?
Oh, that's kind of sad.
You love books. I love books. Let's do this thing.
That's kind of sad. It's a little bit like, Sabrina will know this because C-Lane's not in the loop here. But they're on Nathan Fielder's Rehearsal Season 2.
Uh-huh.
Are you trying to shame me for not having started the Rehearsal Season 2
I
yet?
thought he was going to shame me for not having friends or something like that. But I think the Rehearsal's good.
No, C-Lane's not cool and not initiated enough to know what we're talking about here.
He's got a baby.
Little kid needs a whole bunch of attention.
It's not the baby's fault. It's the wife.
Blame it on her.
What size bus is that baby impression right on?
Do you not have any autonomy in your house? Can't you just say, I'll tell you what, here's what we're watching, and then put it on?
Not after Mickey 17.
Yeah, same here. I got none. I was pretending. You called me out. I absolutely have none of that.
What happened in the rehearsal?
So in the rehearsal, there's 2 characters that stood out to me. One was, Sabrina will remember this guy. There's a guy who goes, his first words on the new season of Rehearsal were, I pride myself in being very aware of if people around me are comfortable or not. And if I'm making people uncomfortable, he goes, when I have a co-pilot on my flight and I'm the pilot, I'm very, very careful about what I say to these women because women can sometimes take offense to things that I didn't mean as offensive. And I go, okay, well, this guy's saying like he's hyper aware of this. Okay.
Someone call it so woke.
Don't make people uncomfortable. That seems like an okay thing. And then he goes, look, he's talking to Nathan Fielder and he goes, I've been banned from like every major dating app. And I go,
And then
there is
proceeds
not
to word vomit.
There is
details.
There is not a bigger red flag on planet Earth.
Yeah.
You've been banned from not one, but
then explain the reasons why. He's like, I even tried different emails, and there have an IP thing going on, but I guess you can't say this. And
from some of the things that my friend who's
then
on,
he doubled down. See, Lane. See, I don't want to spoil too much.
From some of the things
Remember
that my
the
friend
co-pilot,
who's
John?
on, I'll try a third time. From some of the things that my friend who's on dating apps has sent, I didn't realize that you could be banned from a dating app.
Okay.
Me either.
Has that friend been banned from a dating app?
Oh, no. Let me tell you, if you have been banned from a dating app, you are a creeper.
The problem.
This is immediate red flags crazy. Like, I don't listen to somebody going, I've been banned from Tinder and Bumble and Binder and Tumble and all the different dating apps. And then I go, well, maybe they just got it wrong every single time you were banned. And so the guy continues, Sealand. And Nathan Fielder's like, well, why? Why did you get banned from these apps if you're so on top of making sure you're not making people uncomfortable? And he goes, well, I had to put no T-girls or no T on my profile. And he said,
Nathan,
because
straight face. What's a T-girl? I don't understand.
It's like, and he's talking about like he put like no transgender people on his profile. And he said,
fool you, dude.
He said, I've been fooled like 4 or 5 times.
And then,
dude,
fast forward to he's in the simulation of him being main pilot with the co-pilot and is just as much of a creep.
So creepy.
To this woman, who, by the way, hero of that episode, if not 3 episodes in total.
The whole idea of Rehearsal Season 2 is to work on pilots and co-pilots feeling uncomfortable with each other, and the co-pilots feeling uncomfortable asserting dominance if they think something is going wrong on the flight. And this guy, they videotape him in a simulation with this woman, and they were like, let's see if he is good with women on the flight. And he was so creepy. So creepy. And I said to Courtney, I was like, why did the guy say that he's so good at making sure he knows if people are uncomfortable or not? And she goes, well, the thing is, if you're like this, these people are unaware. Like he can't lie to tell you that he's not creepy. He just is just like completely not aware of how crazy and narcissistic and obnoxious he is to all these people. And he thinks everybody else is the problem, not him. And I'm, well, that adds up a little bit.
When he says he's been fooled multiple times,
so like
I want to know how far it got.
He's like, I had to put it there. I've been fooled like 3 or 4 times. And I'm going, damn, dude.
T-girls can look pretty minus T.
You might get fooled once or something, but if you've been fooled 4 times,
and that's what he cites as the reason for being banned.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not it.
I don't think there should be a problem with saying that you don't want to date that kind of person. Like
that's not why he was banned. I guarantee you.
I double guarantee as well.
I put all the money on that guy repeatedly is making all the women on the dating app feel uncomfortable. And so the dating app's like, for the betterment of the whole community, we have to squash you.
Back to my original point, like, I have seen a lot of very uncomfortable things on dating apps via people that I know that are on them, and they led me to believe that you could not get banned from such a place.
That's how bad he is.
Yeah,
okay. That's how bad these interactions are going. All right, we got, when we come back, a grab bag segment. Got a bunch of stuff to hit on.
Grab the bag. Yeah,
and we'll see what's going on. We got to get to this Walt Disney World story, which is pretty crazy. I want to see where people fall on that. We'll see if we can get into the Salem, Oregon story and that Operation Spiderweb in Ukraine. Just absolutely insane. So all of that coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's an accident reported on Silver Star Road near Hiawassee Road. Traffic starting to pile up on the ramp from State Road 408 to I-4 eastbound. You can expect some delays on I-4 through the city there. And there's some slowdowns once you get off the ramp from Florida's Turnpike northbound to I-75 northbound. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
The city.
Las Vegas.
Vegas, make some noise!
The event.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
Live.
Welcome.
One stage.
2 nights. The biggest stars in music return this September.
To make history.
The world's biggest artists are taking this stage.
Stream live only on Hulu.
I said, woo!
Listen right here as the star-studded lineup is revealed tomorrow morning
at 8.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news, commercial and SBA loan rates are falling too. Get a quote to refinance your business loan today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Tired of taking allergy pills every day to treat your allergies? Aspire Allergy and Sinus has helped thousands, including me, who spent years suffering before finally doing something. Like Erin, whose migraines were alleviated almost immediately after her sinus surgery with Aspire. Or Julie, who didn't even realize it was allergy season because she felt so much better after taking her allergy drops. Fixing your allergies is easier than you think it is. Go to AspireAllergy.com to set your appointment today. That's AspireAllergy.com.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Want to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Pick up your phone and text the word WOW to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
When your company earns unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases with Capital One, that's serious business. So Stephen at SandCloud got a serious business card, the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One.
We used our 2% cash back to help build our retail presence.
Savvy, Stephen.
And we get big purchasing power, so our business can spend more and earn more.
The Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus.
NBC Nightly News.
From one era to the next.
I'm Tom Brokaw. We'll hope to see you back here.
I'm Lester Holt. Trust is the anchor.
For NBC Nightly News, I'm Tom Llamas.
A new chapter begins. NBC Nightly News with Tom Llamas. Evenings on NBC.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Of course, fun in the sun is one of the first things you think about when living in Florida, but there is a price to living in paradise, and it's called the Atlantic hurricane season. No worries, though, because new windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen can help protect your home. Renewal by Andersen's Acclaim impact windows and doors are engineered to withstand high-velocity impacts, meaning these windows and doors provide enhanced protection against flying debris during storms, keeping your home safe and secure. Here's what Dawn has to say. 6 stars. We are so surprised at how beautiful our new picture windows and steel front door turned out to be. Renewal by Andersen's 30th anniversary sale is going on now. Buy one, get one, 30% off windows or patio doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included. Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
Oh man, as summer approaches in Florida, everybody's thinking the same thing. Is my roof going to make it, or am I going to come home to puddles in my living room? That's why you need a respected company to take care of your roof. That's Eustace Roofing. These guys have been doing it since 1959, protecting Central Florida homes for over 65 years. And if you want integrity, how about this? 2021 National Roofing Company of the Year. And even though it's Eustace Roofing, they serve all of Central Florida, and they even have no interest financing available. Contact your trusted roofing advisor at eustaceroofing.com.
This summer, escape to a place where history echoes through the streets, where epic beaches embrace breathtaking sunrises, and days are filled with adventures. From the historic charm of Old St. Augustine to 42 miles of scenic coastline in Ponte Vedra and the beaches, every moment brings a perfect blend of exhilaration and rejuvenation. Start your summer getaway now at floridashistoriccoast.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The Rocket Man has landed on iHeartRadio.
Hi, this is Elton John, and this is iHeart's Elton John Radio.
Every hit, every deep cut. Elton John Radio on your iHeart app to listen now.
Hear it here first. Then everyone else will catch up in a week or 2 or 4. You're listening to
This is the News Junkie. 3 best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. And we have a new merch drop up for a very limited time. I'd encourage you to go check that out. Brand new merch drop up at thenewsjunkie.com. A nice summer design.
Hot merch.
You've got like a shirt version and a women's tank and a men's tank version. So you're covered. All your bases are covered over there. Check them out on thenewsjunkie.com. I saw a musician, rock star, celebrity making what I think is a huge mistake right now. I saw this week and I was like, I would almost want to be somebody there to give advice to this person, because it's Tom York from Radiohead is the guy who's got himself in this. THOM York with an E on the end, and very talented guy. I mean, Radiohead, even if you don't like their music, you probably at least have some respect for it, because there's a lot going into a great Radiohead song, and I happen to like them. But he posted this weekend this thing on Instagram, and he says like his emotional health has been taking a toll because he was on stage performing, and one of these people who are like the big time Palestinian protest types was like, what do you think? What do you think about Gaza? Or just like shouted out something about that, like, what do you think about Palestine? And
everyone forgot about Ukraine, huh?
He said, I guess they're not asking about that, but he said nothing in the moment. And he said he's been like struggling with this ever since. And his audience, I guess, it's a tiny, tiny percentage of people who's like, we demand that you weigh in. Because Lord knows that once the lead singer of Radiohead weighs in and says, I think what's happening in Gaza is bad. It ends. It ends. We are one Tom York away from solving the Middle Eastern crisis. I don't know why people don't understand this. It's very simple.
I mean, have the group of celebrities that made the black and white Imagine video from COVID considered doing that again?
Well,
as far
maybe,
as
no.
Gaza
If they have, I haven't seen one for this. But here's what Tom York said from Radiohead. He said, some guy shouting at me from the dark last year when I was picking up a guitar to sing the final song alone in front of 9,000 people in Melbourne.
Who was it? Fake Plastic Trees?
I don't know. Doesn't say. They never give us the details we want. Didn't really seem like the best moment to discuss the unfolding humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. So already he's saying an unfolding humanitarian catastrophe. This guy is clearly like saying, like, you know, I've got empathy for what's happening here. Afterwards, I remained in shock that my supposed silence was somehow being taken as complicity. Well, that's because these losers say things like silence is violence. We must weaponize this against the normies who maybe would go, well, maybe would have the brash take that I, as an American citizen or a British citizen, so many thousands of miles away from this issue that's been boiling over for a very, very long time, maybe I can't fix it. Maybe I don't know enough about it. Maybe I should not be the one weighing in on this. But, you know, it's like incredibly privileged, Western, overeducated takes over and over and over again. He says, afterwards, I remained in shock that my supposed silence was somehow being taken as complicity, and I struggled to find an adequate way to respond to this and carry on with the rest of the shows on the tour. That silence and my attempt to show respect for all those who are suffering and those who have died, and not to trivialize it in a few words, has allowed other opportunistic groups to use intimidation and defamation to fill in the blanks. This has had a heavy toll on my mental health, he said. Watch out, man. The watermelon militia will come after your mental health. They will. They'll weaponize all of this stuff against you. I would hope that for anyone who has ever listened to a note of my music, of my band, of the music I have created over the years, or looked at my artwork or read in the lyrics, it will be self-evident that I could not possibly support any form of extremism or dehumanization of others, he says. And he goes on to talk about music and his artistry. Now he says, for others, let me fill in the blanks so we're nice and clear. Okay, take notes. Remember, first he was like a humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. Clearly he's lining up and siding with the poor victims in Gaza who have been suffering at the hand of the Israeli invasion. I think Netanyahu and his crew of extremists, if you don't know, Netanyahu is the person in charge in Israel, and his crew of extremists are totally out of control and need to be stopped, and that the international community should put all the pressure it can on them to cease. Their excuse of self-defense is long since worn thin and has been replaced by a transparent desire to take control of Gaza and the West Bank permanently. Clearly, he doesn't like Netanyahu. Clearly, he doesn't like the Israelis. Clearly, he's siding with the people in Gaza and the West Bank. So he goes on and talk about the blockades, yada, 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 yada. Then he dares to say this. Why did Hamas choose the truly horrific acts of October 7th, ? The answer seems obvious, and I believe Hamas chooses to hide behind the suffering of its people in an equally cynical fashion for their own purposes. Based take from Tom York of Radiohead. I also think there's a further and extremely important point to make. Social media witch hunts, nothing new on either side, pressuring artists and whoever they feel like that week to make statements, etc., do very little except heighten the tension, fear, and oversimplification of what are complex problems, he says. Bunch of losers on Instagram go, disappointing, uninformed take. This is not a both sides issue, yada, 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 yada. I would say to any celebrity out there, do not even bother wading in on this. Don't bother. All they're going to do, and by them, I mean a lot of the activist types, all they're going to do is go, what's your take? Who do you support? Who do you support? We want to know. You got it. Silence is violence. And then when you say what your take is and who you support, even if it's as nuanced as Tom York's and absolutely correct as Tom York's, when you say that, hey, Hamas is a terrorist group, October 6th or 7th or whatever, was a god-awful terrorist act on October 7th on the Israeli people. When you say this just clearly, painfully obvious thing, they're not going to be happy. They're never going to be happy. They're never going to be happy. You must agree 1,000% or you're just as bad as the worst of the other people. That's the way it goes. Don't even bother wading in on this crap. They've already bullied you into doing it to begin with, and it's like been bothering him ever since this incident. Don't bother. And the people who are saying, I'm the biggest fan, I'm never going to listen anymore, they're liars and losers. Keep going. Keep going. Do your music. Do your stuff. Trust me. These people who try to bully you into all this crap, they're a tiny percentage of losers online who probably torrent your music anyways. So there you go, friend.
Oh, the case of Radiohead, there was that one album that it was just however much you wanted to pay.
That was smart.
Yeah.
I don't know how much money they made off
the
it. The
song was Karma Police, by the way.
Karma Police was the one that was playing when he did. Oh,
it was the one he was about to play by himself, and it was weird because it says it was in the encore, but they put it as a second encore, and it says that it was delayed due to a heckler. So whoever this person was, people noticed him, and it stopped the show for at least enough to call it a second encore.
Yeah. By the way, I don't care what the cause is. Don't harass people for their take. If somebody is interested in a topic and has a take, then fine. But if
Good luck with that statement, reaching out to the people who harass people for their take.
If somebody doesn't know and is not informed and doesn't want to like join a side on something like Israel and Palestine, mind you, this is not like, did you think this movie was good? Or like, what do you think about this or that? This is like a big thing that people will bother you over. So don't listen to these people. Just don't listen to them. They're a tiny, tiny portion of radical losers, and they won't have any impact on the rest of your career. I assure you. Okay, what else do we have here today? Oh, I mentioned this story, so let's just do it here. A man is now accusing Walt Disney World of negligence and seeking more than $50,000 in damages. That's just the minimum. He's going for way more than that. This guy is Eugene Strickland. Eugene Strickland went to Disney World's Blizzard Beach, and he was 34 pounds over the 300-pound weight limit. And when he went on the downhill double dipper water slide,
he was going 75 miles an hour.
He was cooking. Physics. He was moving down this thing. And they said he injured himself. And now he is dealing with this nearly 4 years later, this guy, and he's blaming Disney World. Now, I have a question here. When you go on a water slide like that, is there a sign by the water slide that says like weight limit that would make it on you?
God, I can't remember last time I went to a water park, but
same.
And they definitely don't have like the seats that you can try out like roller coasters do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's up to the part-timer.
You got to just like look at the guy.
Yeah. Isn't that mostly kids that are like in that role?
It used to be. I know that you have to be at least 18 to work and ride and show at a lot of these theme parks because of previous lawsuits that involved kids running roller coasters, which that just sounds crazy now.
Yeah, right. I don't know what to make of that, but the guy is saying like he's not responsible. Disney should be paying him some big money.
Sabrina mentioned that having the fake seat there or the test seat to get in if it's a roller coaster or similar kind of ride that they don't have for water park rides necessarily. But even if it says 300-pound limit, I don't think there's like a scale you can get on. You just you just got to honor system this thing.
It is, yeah. I think, or unless because they don't want to call you out, right? They don't want to be like, whoa, fatty.
Well, at a roller coaster, you don't have to. You fit in the thing or you don't fit in the thing. Like there are some things that need to happen for this thing to operate safely, and you don't have to call the person out. You're just like, hey man, you're not really fitting in this seat. We need to put you in a different seat.
Sorry, next. Yeah, I think
I know firsthand how that goes.
I've seen it happen myself, but I guess in the water slide world, you just jump down and you go 900 miles an hour, and they go, ooh. We'll see what you think about that. We'll do our final dispatches stories that didn't make the cut, and today I learned to wrap everything up for a Monday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Have you ever been come on to by someone really older than you?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I've
42.
I've never done that. I've never like hooked.
Go, Mike. Okay. I got to get Today Learn. Hang tight, folks. Be good. I'll be right back. Hey, there you go. There you go. There you go. All right, folks, who is our nominees for Chatter of the Day? Jason said, what was the announcement? I missed it. Jason, you cannot come in at the last minute like this and demand to know what's going on. You have to go back. Go back. Don't tell them. Who's our chatter of the day? Rapids Water Park in West Palm Beach has a scale. Ooh. Ma'am, I'm just going to need you to step on the scale, if you don't mind. That would be tough to ask somebody. I vote the silent coda. Austin! MFQ says Sean is leaving the show. I'm not leaving yet. That wasn't the announcement. I'm not leaving yet. We're working on some things, but probably this will be my last month on the show. Which is not a bad thing. It's going to be fine. OG says, no worries, Jason, more clickbait, nothing worthwhile. OG, warning. It's a warning. We talked about multiple things, by the way, just for the record. And get on over there and support the merch sale. The merch drops up at thenewsjunkie.com. And who the fuck are these people like OG who sit there quietly all show long every day? You just sit there quietly, and then you're like, right now I'm going to say something. What the fuck? Jeremy says Volcano Bay has scales. They weigh everybody. Can you see the weight on the scales? Because that would be brutal. $90 seconds. Man, we have way too many stories to try to work in here, and we only have like 3 minutes. So it is what it is. But we're going to try to make a lot happen in a short period of time. Did I miss the Ukrainian story? Oh, I'm going to try. We'll try to do it here really quick, all right? Really quick at the end. Everybody is chatter of the day. Congratulations, you all win. Every last person. Thank you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Busy week on the show.
The Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce changes your life and your children's lives. Whether that change is good or bad depends to a great extent upon the attorney you choose. So interview more than one attorney and ask about experience, specifically trial experience. And oh, by the way, be sure to include Cordell & Cordell in those interviews.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Announcer is not a licensed attorney.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories.
On our next episode, we'll tell the story of how and why Superman battled the Ku Klux Klan. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
On a constant quest to stay calm, like that bear in the hammock. This is
The cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Monday. Oh, God, I don't know. We have so little time to get through so many things here. Let's see. One thing worth mentioning on the way out is this attack from the Ukrainians on Russia. Crazy. So they somehow got these Russian truck drivers to drive these semi-trucks, these 18-wheelers, and bring them to a particular location. And when they got to the location, they opened the roof or the lid on these 18-wheelers, and they had the Russian drivers bring them right by airstrips, and they flew all these drones out of the trucks over to the airstrips and blew up so many Russian fighter jets. Like, what a sneaky move.
Damn.
And you go, hey, this is a thing. In 2025.
Trojan horse action.
Yeah, they literally like Trojan horsed it. They had these people drive these things. And then I saw a video of some Russian guy trying to stop the drones. He's like trying to fight back. He did not know, but there was a self-destruct mode.
Okay.
And as he was in the semi and he's like trying to knock down some of the drones that are destroying their like fighter jets in Russia, he's knocking stuff down and boom, the whole thing just completely explodes.
Technology's wild. Huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like doing war from a distance with drones. They must have knocked out billions of dollars worth of fighter jets, I think. Makes us think, are ours secure? What's going on? Drones are the thing, man. That is the new thing.
I'm curious how much cheaper drones are than fighter jets as well.
Drones are a lot cheaper, but they're still... These drones, Sabrina, were like maybe this big, maybe...
They look like small planes.
Yeah, they're like 4 feet, 4 feet across, but they had just enough to blow up these fighter jets that were just sitting ducks on the tarmac. Oh, we got to get the hell out of here. It's time. Here we go. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
Today I Learned from Monday, June 2nd, 2025. We're going to go right to the last one because we're short on time here today. So here we go. Today I learned this band right here. Beach Boys. The Beach Boys is correct. Speaking of that, get your beach shirt over at thenewsjunkie.com. It comes with a magnet and a sticker. Go get it. They got tank tops over there. When I say they, I mean me. And when I say me, I mean us. We're selling some merch. Get yours now over at thenewsjunkie.com. Today I learned Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys was psychologically scarred by his failure to complete Smile, the follow-up to Pet Sounds. Okay. He premiered the finished album in 2010 to his 10-minute standing ovation. He said, we finally did it. We did it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast. It's over at thenewsjunkie.com. Get your merch, everybody.